Weekend nights, the city roars. Tune in loud, turn up some more. Cincinnati show, it's time to play. Sports with strawberry ice today. 5:30 sharp, don't be late. TTV, the sports awaits. Strawberry ices on the mic, energy, it's good delight. Every touchdown, every goal. Feel the pulse, it's in your soul. Cincinnati heartbeats strong. Strawberry ice will lead the throng. Every touchdown, every goal. Feel the pulse that's in your soul. Cincinnati heartbeats strong. Strawberry ice will lead the throng. Feel the crowd, it's electric now. Shouting loud, they all know how. The CTV got what we crave. Sports with ice, it's waves and waves. Tigers strike and Bengals roar. Every game we want some more. Tune in and feel the thrill. Strawberry ice, he's giving chills. 5:30 sharp, don't be late. TTV, the sports awaits. Strawberry ice, he's on the mic, energy, it's pure delight. Weekend nights, the city roars. Tune in loud, turn up some more. Cincinnati show, it's time to play. Sports with strawberry ice today. 5:30 sharp, don't be late. TTV, the sports awaits. Strawberry ice, he's on the mic, energy, it's pure delight. Every touchdown, every goal. Feel the pulse, it's in your soul.
Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the show. This is Sports with Strawberry Ice. We're live here at the Moerlein Lager House. If you're not here, come on down. It's happy hour. Happy hour started at 3 o'clock. It goes all the way till 9 p.m. What does that mean? That means $5 drafts, house wines, well drinks, and $2 off. Also, it is Prime Rib Tuesday here at the Moerlein Lager House, $29.95. So if you're a steak lover like I am, it looks delicious. So make sure you guys check out what is going on to everybody in the chat. Let me get rid of that as the banner falls down. See, live TV, stuff falls down. We got Paul Painter in there, Pork Chops in there, T Brookie's in there, Hunter's in there. All right, we are caught up. Is that the banner's got a gangster, and I don't know if you guys see that or not. Anyway, let me get to the man who is my co-host here every single Tuesday, and he is none other than Joe Schmo. If I get to the right thing here. Hold on a sec. What's going on, Joe?
Hey, what's cracking, dude?
Oh, nothing, dude. Just watching the banner fall behind me and enjoying some delicious Moerlein beer. So,
but you get to see your.
Yeah, I know. I a little gangsterling on. I appreciate it.
You got the full 90-degree gangsterling.
Exactly.
Let me move this so we don't see you like more. You're too much on my screen. There we go.
Yeah. Get on your side.
It looks a lot better without you in it.
Whatever, dude. All right, so we're talking some Bearcats here. They have moved up to number 17 in the ranking. They are 2-0. Harrison Butler has made it. I'm so happy. I think the Bearcats have a really good shot of making some noise this year, and they're off to a good start. First time I've been this excited about a UC game or UC team in a long time, and I have a guest. He's sitting next to Neil. He is. I'll put it this way: when Alex was playing, we always had this cheer. My son, I told my son this. I said, "Yeah, you remember when we used to go to UC games, and we'd always go, Alex Mecham." And he's like, "Yeah." I was like, "That's who my guess is." He's like, "Oh yeah, I love that dude." I was like,
that was you?
That was us. Yeah, we were all up in the rafters cheering for you.
I appreciate that.
Exactly, man. So, welcome to the show. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate you. It's been 3 years.
Yeah,
I've been on this
show. I'm just glad you're on camera this time. That's a good thing. Being on camera always helps.
That's a whole long story there.
Yeah. Back at Wyatt, I'm going, one, I was god awful at my show then, and two, and Q came on and I was like, hey, you don't have a camera on. I was like, well, you didn't want to be on the show, didn't want to be seen. I don't know. You could figure something out. It's all right though.
Yeah,
it's all good,
man. Well, thanks again for having me here.
No
So
problem.
Also,
we got your buddy Neil on here too.
this is my guy right here.
It's your
man.
guy.
That's one of the hardest working guys in the business, man. He's really trying to carve out his niche and everything he can to be successful. And as we call them, basketball, getting reps, right?
Exactly.
Doing a lot of stuff, so he's working hard.
Exactly. And you
Appreciate that, Meech.
Yeah, you guys got your own podcast going on right now, don't you?
Yes, sir.
When can people find it? And you guys have live shows like this. I know you do.
Yeah, so you can find it. We release them usually either the day before or the day of a Bearcat basketball game. And so I think our next one will be November 19th. So that's the day of the NKU game.
Okay.
So we will recap the last 3 games. So by the time Nichols is finished, there'll be 3 games. And check it out. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud. We'll be on YouTube, right?
Yep.
We'll be on
Yep,
YouTube.
we'll be on YouTube
And I'll
as
have
well.
my camera working on my computer.
Is this the problem he has? Is he can't get his camera to work?
It's an ongoing. So let me tell a story real quick.
Go ahead.
So I've got a brand new computer,
Right.
and I've had it for like a month, and I just haven't set it up. And so my old computer, for some reason, the camera thing broke. So broke like 3 years ago when I was on your last show.
Right.
And so every time I do the podcast with them, my camera's off. So they've never seen me. So last year, do you remember this?
Yeah, when it popped back in.
Last year, like the last episode, and we had been doing it for like 2 years, whatever. It just turned on.
You're like, oh, there's Alex. He does exist.
JT was like, "What?" And I'm like, "What?" I was like, "Man, that's wild." But
It's like the Eminem commercial. They do exist. Alex
Right.
does exist. So, Joe, you want to say anything? You got any questions here with Bearcats before I start taking over everything like I usually do?
I mean, usually you just keep talking and talking and talking.
Usually, yeah. That's why I'm trying to give you a chance.
I mean, we got several things we can talk about. Your days playing, which was the heyday of UC basketball, late
Exactly.
90s.
The 99 team that should have won the damn thing.
Yeah, they were legitimately they won games. You guys won games just walking off the bus.
yeah,
Especially when they went to the sleeveless.
The greatest, the iconic
Absolutely.
uniform. You always had your podcast.
oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Those uniforms were iconic. Let me tell you a story about the uniforms real quick. When we first had those, we were in the NCAA tournament. We played in Idaho. Okay, and so I think we played at Boise State.
Was that Ty Sedney?
No.
Oh no, that was different.
Nope.
Yeah,
Nope.
that's right.
Ty
We,
said it was you said
No,
it.
I know,
Okay.
but I mean, he
that wasn't that game. So so anyway, we're playing in Idaho, and we're practicing at a high school gym, right? Because you got to go off site. You don't want the other team to see
Right.
you practice and all that. So we've got these great Jordan uniforms, and back then we didn't have social media, so in
Thank
a lot
God.
of ways, right? I probably would
Some of us might have got themselves in trouble.
all of us, Jeff, would have been in trouble. All of us. Now, so since there wasn't social media, we didn't have as much information, right? There wasn't as much, we didn't know what people in Idaho or California or wherever, what they were doing and what they were thinking,
Right.
as opposed to now. So we go in this high school gym, and I can't remember who it was on my team, but one of the players goes, "Look at this." And it was a team picture of that Idaho basketball team, and they had the replica
No shit.
jerseys just
Really?
like us. And we're like looking around, and we're like, and I think when we started going in the next year, when we were in the airport, like flying city to city, and people were like stopping us and telling us like how, man, I love watching you guys. We didn't realize how iconic,
Yes.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
That team,
Yes.
that whole, the Jordan stuff. Hugs purposely gave us black warm-ups to wear.
You guys are one of the first teams that I remember that went to the all black uniform. Now everybody's got all
Well,
black.
there was
uniform.
very little trim. I mean, it was
Yeah,
you had
it
the
was-
white panel like a
Yeah.
little bit, but the rest was pure
Just
black,
black.
and just intimidating.
It was
Walking
badass.
but walking on.
For sure. And Hugs he always had this like us against the world
Right.
mentality. And I think that tied into the black uniforms, the bad guy. And we would be in an airport, and we would have black hooded sweatsuits, and we'd have our hood up walking through. And it was like being with Kenyon Martin. It was like the Beatles of basketball.
Right,
No, I'm
right.
telling you, it was insane.
It was awesome. And that's one thing I love that they brought those uniforms back.
No
Yeah,
question.
Yeah, I was so happy that I know Neil you're wearing Adidas, but I'm a Nike guy, Jordan guy. Jordan. By the way, Jordan's the greatest basketball player ever. Well, next is the jersey I'm wearing here, Oscar. So
I will say he's the greatest college basketball player.
Absolutely.
Ever, for sure.
Absolutely.
No question.
But get back to the uniforms there. Like Joe said, you guys won games just getting off the bus. I've talked to Terry Nelson about this, talked to Lizelle Dirt about this. And one of the big rivals that I always remember and I hated was it wasn't East Carolina. Who was that? It was with the guy who blew the kisses.
Diego Guevara.
Diego Guevara with UNC Charlotte.
UNC Charlotte. Oh my! So I've heard some stuff where you guys are getting stuff thrown at you.
Yeah.
Walking onto the court and walking off the court.
So I've got two stories with that. So we're playing at UNC Charlotte, right? Diego Guevara he's kind of the bad guy.
I hated him.
Yeah. Well, we weren't the only school. I later found out that the St. Louis's and all these other schools felt the same way as we did because he would blow these kisses after he would make threes. And the way he explained it was it wasn't like I'm blowing kisses to show you up. I'm blowing kisses to my wife.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
That was his whole
I do
thing.
remember that, but I still don't like it.
Yeah. Right. So we're playing at UNC Charlotte, and I guess whoever wins this is closer to winning the conference, getting that number 1 seed in the conference tournament, right? And how important the conference tournament is, that determines your NCAA seed in a lot of ways, right? So we want to have the best seed, play closest to Cincinnati, so we have a big fan base there, right? We're playing at UNC Charlotte. We pull up, and you usually get to the games as a team 2.5, 3 hours early in your bus. There are fans out there throwing stuff at our bus. And we're like, this is crazy, but it gets crazier. So we're warming up.
You guys.
Oh, it was crazy. We're warming up. I'll never forget this. About 2 hours early, we're warming up. The student section is packed. And we're like, these people do not like us, right? And your sign falls down again.
Yeah, that sign ain't going to make it. We'll just leave it there.
So the student section is just packed, and they're yelling stuff at us. And one of my favorite teammates I've ever had in the history of basketball is Ruben Patterson.
Yeah,
Rube is one of the greatest teammates you could have. Anybody that played with Rube will tell you Rube's your guy because he will have your back no matter what. He'll beat you up at practice, he'll elbow you, but no one's going to touch you outside of that, right?
Right.
Love Rube. And they're yelling the craziest stuff imaginable at Ruben, yelling at Kenyon, which are two of the guys you probably don't want to mess with, right?
Probably, yeah.
That's a bad idea, right? So I look in the student section. I'm not playing, so my focus isn't. So I'm looking in the stands, and I'm like, oh my God, so in the student section was a guy that I went to school with in 7th and 8th grade named T.C. Barker. Shout out T.C. Barker if you're out there. T.C. Barker played soccer for UNC Charlotte, went to Seven Hills High School here in Cincinnati. I see him, and he's trying to wave me down. And so I'm like, should I? So
I ain't going over there.
I actually went up in the student section, and I'm like, saying what's up to him. And my teammates are like, they thought I was going to fight. And they're like,
all right, where we going? Let's go, Alex. We got you.
Running over. And I'm like, no. This is my friend from.
They about to throw down, man. But that's what that team was. It was. I hated that you're the black hat. You're the bad guys, but you're a bunch of good guys. That's not. Character-wise, you guys are good. It's
like being a wrestling heel.
Yes, yes, that's a great way. Yeah, you were the heels, and I loved that. I liked being the heel fan or whatever because we would go into places, and 99% of the time we'd win. And that was what's fun about it.
Was that the one game when I think it was Mel Levitt blew kisses back to his wife after hitting a clutch three?
I think that was at the Shoemaker.
Was it? Okay, I can't remember. I couldn't because
that was at the shoe
because she was there. And he found her.
He was in typical Mel. Mel is
I love Mel. I've had him on the show before. He's cool dude.
Mel is so he's so observant to what's going on. Like he's uber focused in the games, but he knew everyone that was in the crowd. Yeah. Like he was looking around and he knew what was going on. He was one thing about Mel, I always say, I don't think I've played with anybody that understood theater more than Mel. Like he would jump over the scores table to save a ball and do all this stuff, but he knew He didn't have to jump over and do all that, but he knew if he did that, the crowd would go wild. It would give us momentum. Yeah. He just understood theater.
And especially when he jumps over top of Bobby Brandon to dunk the ball too, that kind of helped too.
I was on the bench when that happened.
I was at that game. I'm like, oh,
yeah, I was watching on TV, and that's one of those. Holy crap! Did that just happen? Like Bobby Brandon's not a short dude. He was 6'9", 6'8", somewhere around there. Yeah, tall dude, and literally just. Oh man,
I can still see it. It was all, and then
I
think that's where the helicopters came from. That's because he hung on the rim and kind of spun around.
He spun around. I'm not sure if he was called the helicopter prior or.
That's right. I'll have to ask him sometime. Yeah. That's
knowing him, like he was called the helicopter prior, and he purposely did that and swung around just to tie
right.
back again to understanding theater and like
a smart. That's smart right there.
Yeah.
So let's get to the season that should have been the 99 team.
Oh,
it was one of the funnest. I mean, just let's talk about before we get to it. Let's talk about Kenyon Martin. Kenyon Martin to me made one of the biggest jumps from his junior season to his senior season I've ever seen. He went from probably could have been a lottery pick, it was definitely a first round pick, to the number one pick and the number one player in the NCAA that year.
Yeah,
that was. I've never seen a player make that big of a jump. How was Kenyon that year? What did he mean to you guys?
Yeah, so I would say with Kenyon, the recipe or the ingredients to his success is, number one, he wants it so bad. Like Kenyon's want when it comes to being successful, whatever he puts his mind to, he's going to do. And then his toughness. I mean, he embodies, I think, when you think about Cincinnati, the greater Cincinnati area, I mean, a lot of people here have to grind for a living. A lot of people here are tough, right? You hear about the west side of Cincinnati. You say the west side is tough, right?
Yeah.
And
see,
not us pampered, spoiled East Siders.
I'm an East Sider, so I'm with you on that. But with Kenyon, his just ingredients of who he is, there's no question. Right. Why he's done what he's done. And I'll give you a quick story. It was going into his junior year. I was working out. Back in the day, there was a gym called Lawrence Hall at UC.
Right.
And that's where the basketball players really worked out when the Shoemaker Center, the shoe was being, I keep saying Fifth Third Arena. I'm trying to be modern, but it's always
I still call it the shoe. It's always been the shoe to me.
I try to be.
Yeah,
they always want you to say Fifth Third.
Fifth Third Arena.
It's got 10 different names. It's Ed Jucker Court, Fifth Third Arena, Shoemaker Center.
Yeah,
so it does. Just
a lot of good history though.
Yeah,
so, absolutely.
So whenever that was being used, we used Lawrence Hall, and so there was a former player named Terrence Davis, TD from New Orleans, and he didn't play a lot for UC, but he went overseas, and he was overseas was terrific, and he would come back and work out with us. So I would lift weights. And I'd walk up from the weight room to Lawrence Hall, and TD would be in there shooting. And I said, hey, do you mind if I shoot with you? And he says, actually, that would be great. We have a rebounder. We can do a little 1v1. So I started working out with TD every day, and we were just grinding. And so 2 days straight, Kenyon Martin walks by, right? And he kind of like looks in, says what's up, goes down and lifts weights. Well, what happened was Kenyon ended up switching his schedule. So TD and I are in there shooting, doing guard drills. Kenyon comes up and gets a ball and starts like doing what we're doing. And I'm like, you going to work out with us? He was in there every day with us. And let me tell you what he was doing. He was doing ball handling drills. He was working on his mid-range, pump fake one dribble. All those things you started to see him put together junior year, and then by his senior year, become the number one player in the country. You look at those mid-range jumpers he had, all the things he did. A lot of that you can tie back to Terrence Davis, and he doesn't get enough credit.
T-Rat.
No, Terrence Davis.
Oh, Terrence Davis.
His name's TD. Yeah, not Terrace Gibson.
Sorry.
But TD really helped Kenyon and his development. I just happened to, be there and witness this, and it was incredible to watch, because here's a guy that comes in, Kenyon, with all this skill, but as a big man. But he had to develop those guard skills in order to get to that next level and make that multi-million-dollar contract in the NBA.
Right. And you could see it helped. I mean, I was just shocked, like just how much he improved from one year to the next. I mean, that 99 team, I mean, I was 25 then. I know I'm older than you.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that was just an iconic team. That was the one for me, Joe. I'm like, they're going to win this thing. There's no, and I still believe if Kenny doesn't get hurt, they're winning the whole damn thing.
Probably.
They're beating Michigan State.
See, I gotta put it this way. What's Michigan State? What's Tom Izzo's legacy if Kenyon Martin does? Because Tom Izzo has a lot of he's been dining out for 24 years on one title.
Right.
That was won because the best team in the country lost the best player in the country right before the tournament.
That's a good point.
That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, those guys were my age. I mean, I was 19. You know, I was a soft at the age of Steve Logan. I mean, graduated.
Steve Logan came off the bench.
Right. But I mean, these are guys like. These guys shouldn't be this damn good at basketball. They're my age. Like, I suck at everything I do. My friends suck at everything we do, and these guys are amazing.
I'm sure there's something you do well.
We haven't found it yet.
How old are you?
44.
Oh, time's running out. Man,
I appreciate that you had that question, but there's the question that made you think I was a little younger.
I was like,
the hair.
I'm
like
I thought you were younger. I thought you were gonna say, yeah.
You two a couple weeks ago had the same hairstyle, so he just decided to grow his back.
I'm a great parent. I'll put it that way. I'm a great parent.
Hey,
there you go. That's
the
more
most important job you will ever have.
Right. Yes. But like I mean, to be able to have those teams when like.
No.
These are guys like I'm seeing the recruiting classes and everything, and seeing them go up, and they're recruiting this guy Sam Clancy out of Cleveland. Not signing him, but they're signing this short little pudgy dude, Steve Logan. And then I was there on his senior day when he dropped. I don't know how many. It was I think it was Memphis.
Yeah,
and he dropped like 40 points.
That was ridiculous.
And like so, I mean, that team, even more than the Final Four team, because that Final Four team made me a big time basketball fan. I followed. I remember Lavertus Robinson, Keith Starks, those guys. Final Four team made me a UC fan. The 99, that run from 97 to 2002, like those were my guys. I mean, and that's what cemented. I mean, for God's sakes, I wear my fandom on my arm for
Yeah.
So I mean, those were the guys that I followed. And obviously, you being part of that team is awesome. So
yeah. So the year that Kenyon. We don't like to talk about this, so it's kind of an unwritten rule that we don't, as teammates, we don't talk about that year Kenyon got hurt. But
yeah,
so we were on a crash course to play Michigan State,
right?
And I'm at an AU basketball tournament in Indy. I think it was 2 years ago. I think 2 years ago, I'm in an AU tournament, and I look over and I'm like, "That's Patine Cleaves," and I'm like. So I look and I walk over and I was like, excuse me, I don't want to bother you. And he was watching his son play.
Right.
I said, I'm getting ready to leave. I didn't want to bother you. And he was like, no, what's up? He's like, who are you? And I said, well, you wouldn't know my name, but I said, I played basketball for the Bearcats. And he was like, what year? And I tell him, and he goes, the whole year we thought we would play you in the championship game.
Yep.
And here's the thing that I didn't know. So with Tom Izzo basketball teams, one of their strengths is rebounding.
Yeah.
Right? Rebounding is such an important part to basketball. That's why I hear Wes Miller, he was, talking about last game, the importance of rebounding. Because, defensively, if you're rebounding defensively, that means the other team's only probably getting one shot and out. Right? Their percentages go down.
Right.
If you're rebounding offensively, you're probably getting more shots. Your percentages, go up. So they're so good at rebounding the basketball. But Patine Cleaves said to me that day, he goes, you guys are the only team in America that we feared we could not out-rebound.
Because they couldn't.
I definitely think the Bearcats win the national championship. We beat Michigan State. Too many weapons. But
too many weapons, too big. You guys are bigger than they were
size.
too. Yeah. Because you guys had Martin, you had Pete Michael, you had who else was the front
was
Tate?
I was gonna say, but Jermaine Tate's still there?
Jermaine Tate.
I couldn't remember what years he was in.
Man, I'm mixing up all my
I think so. I think
my teams. I'm thinking all my somebody was asking me about one of my teammates, and I mixed up the years we were together.
What years did you play again?
So I got there. I came in with Ken and I kind of came in together. He was a prop 48. I don't know if you remember what
Yeah,
prop 48
yeah, I remember what that
is.
is. Yeah.
Yeah, he was a prop 48.
Do they even do that anymore?
No,
I
there
think
was
so.
there was a big lawsuit about that. The prop 48, there were a lot of things that were really bad about that rule that I don't even want to get into. But yeah, there was a lawsuit, and that no
Right.
longer exists. A lot of kids now will go to JUCO and then make their way to the NCAA.
So you came in with Kenyon and who else was a part of your class? Do you remember? We're only talking like 25 years ago or more.
Man, right?
I know. Which, dude, to me, it doesn't seem that long ago. I'm like, dude, I remember that. I'm like,
you're old.
Shut up, Joe.
It doesn't seem that long ago, because sometimes I'll walk in Fifth Third Arena, the shoe, and I'll have like these flashbacks. Like, I know it's a different setup now, but it's still the same building. It's still the same building to me, and it still doesn't feel like it was that long ago. And whenever Kenyon comes back in town, he sits courtside and he's around. And I always say to him, like, it doesn't seem that long ago.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm like, he doesn't look that old. I'm like, it doesn't seem like, I feel like he was just playing in the NBA not long ago, and then now watching his son KJ.
Right now, his son's in the league, and that's like crap.
Yeah,
all right, maybe it wasn't long ago.
Yeah, time flies.
Well, let's talk about the arena and how Wes, I think, has done a great job of bringing back former Bearcats, and with the arena where they got it set up, they have you guys sitting up behind the bench, which I think is awesome. I think that's a UNC thing, but he brought it here.
It is,
but it's cool that he's doing that, because it seemed like nothing against Mick, but it seemed like he tried to get away from the hugging years too much, and Wes is embracing all of it.
Yeah, and
that's cool. Is like, because people have forgotten how good UC basketball was. We're back-to-back national champions in the 60s, 62, 63, Final Four in 92. You guys had your run in 99, and they were in the 90s. They were consistently in the top 25, top 10 every year. And people, I think, have forgotten about that. And I think it's cool that he wraps all that back in and brings you guys in. And you could tell the current Bearcats, hey, yo, this is a good program. This is a historic program, and you need to know the history of the jersey you're wearing.
Yeah. So I'm going to answer that and talk about that in two parts. One, I think when Mick Cronin came in, he had the tall task of trying to not be Bob Huggins, because he wanted to carve his own path and be his own person, which I totally respect.
Yeah.
And part of that was, hey, I'm bringing in my guys, and I want you to respect what I'm bringing in and the culture that I'm bringing in. So totally understand and respect that. And being that Mick is from here, LaSalle grad,
West Side boy,
and then Wes coming from North Carolina, not from here, I think it was important for him. And at the time, Chris Lepore was his chief of staff. They came in together, and it was important for them to get a good understanding of Bearcat culture, right? And I'll tell you this, one of the reasons I truly, truly love Wes is when he got the job, he started making his way to calling former players. And one day my phone rings, and I'm at AAU basketball practice, and it was a North Carolina number. This is when he first got the job. And I pick up the phone, and I'm like, hello? And he was like, is Alex? And I was like, yeah. He's like, Wes Miller, new Bearcat basketball head coach. And I'm like, wow. So he got his phone number from a friend of mine who's in the college coaching circle. And my friend said, hey, Alex Mecham plays there. You should give him a call. So I'm like, man, how you doing? He's like, I want to meet with you. Come over to the office. So I come over to the office, and he goes, hey, I got 30 minutes, and I want to talk to you about what Bearcat basketball means to you. And Jeff, we were there I can't cuss on here, 3 freaking hours.
I would love to have been on a fly on the wall for that one.
3 hours. And I said, okay, first of all, you got to understand Cincinnati. You got to understand the city first. Like, the Bengals and the Reds were down when I played. Xavier was okay. 13,176 packed Fifth Third.
You guys
Arena.
were the show.
We were the show, Jeff. Yeah. And I told him that. I said, there is so much carryover, and you talked about it, from that the group of teams I played on until today. I said the Bengals obviously, have a great brand right now. Burrow, like everybody's on board, and hopefully the Reds win a little bit more. But you got Ellie, and you got a lot of FC Cincinnati's doing well, and there's a lot of buzz around sports in our area. But in my opinion, this city is truly rocking and rolling when Bearcat basketball is at the top. And I told him that, and I said, you have an opportunity to bring us back and bring it back to the top. And he says, well, how do I get there in your opinion? And I said, I would put my arms around a lot of the former players so you can draw support.
Yes.
And that's one of the first things I would do. And he says, give me some key folks. So I gave him some key folks to contact. He called every single one of them. Every single one of them. I told him the restaurants to go to in the city. I said, when you're on the west side, you got to go to Nick and Tom's.
Oh, yeah.
One of my favorite spots.
Yep.
When you're on the east side, you got to go to Trios in Kenwood. And he's hitting up all these spots. I hear about it. Like,
I live a mile from
Wes was
Trio.
in
That's the right place.
And what'd you say?
I said I live about a mile from Trio, so I'm definitely got to have
I live
love
about a mile.
best flatbread, man. Their soups.
Oh my god, I love Trios.
I live about 2 miles away from Nick and Tom, so
Do you?
yeah.
I always go to Nick and Tom's with Coach Price, Mike Price from Oak Hills. That's his spot.
Yep.
Is that on Bridgetown Road?
It's on Bridgetown, yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
I know where that is.
So he's really embraced, I think, our community. Because if you think about it, you tell me if you think I'm wrong. When Bob Huggins coached here, aside from the success on the basketball court, you could go so many places in Cincinnati and see Bob Huggins.
Oh yeah.
He'd be at LaSalle Sports Stag. He'd be at Moeller's Card Show.
Mm-hmm.
He'd be at the Loveland Pub, Right, Wrong, or Indifferent.
Very good place to find him. Sleepy Hollow, or whatever the place right there in Loveland at the river. Yeah,
he'd be at Skyline.
Yep.
Like he was everywhere. He was a man of the town. He would talk to everyone. And then if you meet Bob Huggins and talk to him, and he would like get your information, and he would send people like tickets, say, come to a game. And I said, Wes, you got to put your arms around this community. And my opinion, I think Wes has done an excellent job of that. And he has the support of this community right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Neil, you've been sitting here for a while. We've been doing a lot of talking. I know you talked to Alex a lot of time, but I'll let you get some questions or some comments in here.
Yeah, no. Secondly, I would most certainly agree with what Alex just said about Wes Miller embracing Cincinnati. I think he really embraces not only the Bearcat community, but the rivalry between Cincinnati and Xavier as well.
Yes, we need to win that thing, though.
Win the damn thing.
And
I'm tired of losing to him.
I don't care whether you embrace it or not. Just win the fucking thing.
Just win. I'm so sick of losing to Xavier.
The thing with Wes Miller is he is so involved in the community, but he doesn't. We see him on a different level, being behind the scenes, but he cares about us more than he cares about some other people within the community, because he treats us like his own.
That's awesome.
And he even makes sure that every week he's always checking in on us after press conferences. Hey, how are you guys? He just is an overall great person. I feel like it's great for the community, great for the head of a basketball program, great for the university, but he puts his face out there and really does a great job. And the biggest thing about Wes Miller is he cares. Yeah. You should see that with the players about the mental health aspect and everything that he just took the stand for. Last season, he gave
exactly.
Last season, he gave the 9-minute spiel about Aziz Bandago.
Aziz and Jamil, yeah.
And then this year, he gives another big spiel about the mental health of Aziz and guys who are coming in and out of this program. So overall, that's huge.
It's not phony. That's the thing. You could tell if guys are being phony. Go ahead, Alex.
No, I'm glad you said that, because he is truly a people person.
Yeah, he truly loves this place. I do believe that. I do believe that.
Well, I've always heard, and I don't know this, but I've always heard North Carolina in some pockets in that area are very similar to Cincinnati in terms of feel, people, the mentality of the people.
I should know. I was born in North Carolina.
Were you? What part?
Goldsboro, but I was.
I don't know where that is. What's it called?
It's at Goldsboro. I was on an Air Force base. My dad was
okay.
in Vietnam. He was in the Vietnam War there. So, well, not in North Carolina, but
he was in the Vietnam War in North Carolina.
Not there.
You didn't know about this?
Yeah, no.
History.
I only lived there for like a year, so I don't remember
This
it.
is a history podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
tonight.
Wrong history. Vietnam War was not
Yeah,
North
right.
Carolina, all right?
When Vietnam came to
Vietnam came to North Carolina.
No, you went to a Vietnamese restaurant off
Yes,
base. That's
yes.
where you're getting confused.
There you go.
How did we end up here?
I don't. It happens a lot on this podcast, Alex. I don't know.
Okay, so with Wes, you know, I'll never forget this. So, ever since Wes has been the coach, I have gotten a personal birthday text from him.
Nice.
Now, keep in mind, you think of all the former UC players, like I have to be at the lowest totem pole of.
You
like,
were the crowd favorite, Alex.
Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. But in terms of, and I tell them all the time, in order of the importance of kind of like that cultural impact,
Right.
so many of those players. And here's a guy texting me, happy
Right.
birthday. Like, I always tell him, I was like, man, that makes me feel good as a former player.
All right.
You know, that really does. So Wes has been building, and I don't mean to steal any thunder from you, but I'll pass it back to you. But Wes has been building for this year.
Oh, dude,
Was that a good segue?
That gets me good goosebumps right there. I'll say this: we're live down here at Moerlein Lager House. We are down there each and every Tuesday. Make sure you guys come on down. They extended the happy hour from 3 to 9. What does that mean? That means $5 drafts, house wines, and $2 off appetizer. Also for you meat lovers, it's prime rib Tuesday, which is $2.95. So come on down here next Tuesday. The show starts at 6. Goes till $29.95. What did I say? Wow, $2.95, but way too cheap. $29.95. I'll get it right here. Yeah,
Jeff said it's
to be in North Carolina, I'll give it away $2 steaks.
It's your show, Jeff. You can do what you want.
Well, I'm giving away $2 prime rib. He ain't gonna let me do the show over here much longer. I'll tell you that. So, all right, let's get into roll into. Unless you guys, you got something you want to?
No, we can get this current team right now.
Okay, let's roll into this current team. And like I said when I started the show, this is the most excited I've been about a Bearcat team, and it's getting back to the style I feel that we had made Bearcat basketball, athletics, hard-nosed defense, rebounding. But this team can shoot. And I haven't seen a Bearcat team. Now, free throws, we're still working on that. But three-pointers, they can shoot better than any. So far, it's only been 2 games. But shoot better than any Bearcat team that I've seen. I know Neo's been raving about how good these guys are going to shoot. So, I mean, where can this team go? I mean, I think Sweet 16. What is your guys' thoughts on? I put to both of you since you cover them and you're a former Bearcat. Go ahead, Neil. What do you got?
I've always said that if they stayed healthy, they could make the Sweet 16 at least, but this is a team that could go further.
Right.
Obviously, right now you're battling some injuries early on, but there's still a lot of hope for this team to do everything that they are capable of and expecting to be, and that's a deep NCAA tournament run because you look down on paper, this is Wes Miller's best roster.
Yes, absolutely.
Arguably since taking over the Cincinnati job. So overall,
I don't think there's any argument about that at all.
No.
Overall, this team definitely has Sweet 16 potential, even Elite 8, but there's a good chance if they get the right matchup in the tournament and they do what they're expecting to do in the Big 12 slate to get a good seed, this team could make a deep run in the NCAA tournament.
So one of the photographers who takes pictures at UC games, Taylor Keaton.
Yep, Taylor Keaton, our guy.
Yep, Taylor Keaton, a good friend of mine. He does some photos for some different things that I do as well. And he said to me the other day, he goes, all right. So he's like, you know how Taylor is.
I know how Taylor is.
Am I doing a good job?
Yep.
All right. So it's him. So this is the Final Four team, right? Talk me out of it. This is the Final Four team.
I like this guy already.
Yeah. And I was like, whoa, okay, hold on. Stop. Tell me why you think. And so he starts diving into why he thinks. And I'm like,
talking you
bro,
into
you're
it.
not wrong. Like,
Right.
and I thought about it more. I was thinking about this the other day. That should be the expectation for this basketball team.
Absolutely.
I don't see why this team couldn't make a Final Four run. Like, I watch Dylan Mitchell in my opinion, I've said this on the podcast, I think he's going to be that go-to guy in crunch time when you really need a bucket, a go-to guy. We've got shooters. Connor Hickman's better than I thought he was.
Precocious.
The real question, Meech, hate to interrupt. Who's the better shooter, Connor Hickman or CJ Frederick?
I think they're different type of shooter. Well, if you notice this year with CJ is doing an excellent. First of all, CJ has an unbelievably high IQ. CJ Frederick. Have you noticed he's making that extra pass?
Making an extra pass
because people are running at him. So
I've seen a lot the team in general doing that too.
No question, Jeff. Like they're one time the other
where he shot the extra pass to the corner.
Yes, I'm telling you, like, so I don't. They're different type of shooters. Like I think Connor Hickman like moves extremely well. Like his movement on the court is incredible. So I think he's going to move and get a lot of shots in a different way. Both of them shoot the ball well. Pure shooter, CJ Frederick's unbelievable. But you got all these shooters. I really like AP Page. I think he's going to get better and better under the tutelage of Wes and that staff and learning the nuances of the game. He's still very raw in some respects. Aziz finally has a full season to start,
and he's gotten bigger too.
He needed to get stronger
outside of it. That's the biggest thing. Is he didn't have to worry about this offseason.
Yes,
having to deal with the question that was the big question mark looming: am I going to be eligible to play?
Yep.
Because now that he's second year, he doesn't have the transfer waiver stuff. I think that's been the biggest thing, not only for Aziz on the court, but for his mental health as well. Now
yes,
to get the full off.
It just takes the load off his shoulder. You just concentrate on basketball.
Yeah, that's huge for the Cincinnati team.
So let me. Do you think, and definitely more than any team that he's had under his tenure, do you think this is a team completely molded in Wes's image? Is this a roster that he would put out, that he would imagine in terms of having shooters, having the bigs, having slasher like Dan Skillings? Is this fully a Wes Miller team instead of spare parts trying to scrape together like he's had to?
I would say 100%. I think the only thing that's missing from this team right now, and I'm not saying the answer isn't there, but is the leadership of Day Thomas. Day Thomas is going to have to be the leader of this basketball team from a vocal standpoint. He's a guy that's been around. He's an extension of coach. And so I would say the only piece that's missing is that vocally. Like most of those guys are kind of quiet in a sense. A lot of guys are except, and I think he's trying to be a leader, but he's still processing what he's doing. And that's I just forgot his name. He's hurt right now. Just got hurt. Dan Skillings.
Dan Skillings. Yeah.
Dan Skillings. Dan talks the whole time, but leadership isn't always just talking. It's saying the right things, grabbing guys, and I think Day provides that. So I think all the other pieces is what Wes Miller wants when Day gets healthy. And listen, I'm gonna say this: we as fans, as Bearcat fans, have to be patient with this team through, one of the toughest
gauntlets.
schedules. I mean, Kansas, Arizona, like all these teams coming in here.
Baylor as well.
Baylor.
There's going to be ups and downs.
Big 12 is the best basketball conference, I think,
in America.
It might be in history, dude. I mean, seriously, the teams from top to bottom are ridiculous. You come out of this like last year. They held their own. There's so many 1-loss, 2-loss games. It was frustrating, but also it made me proud. Like, holy crap, Wes has got these guys playing, but it's also frustrating watching them lose. That hopefully won't happen this year.
Experience is definitely going through that grind the year before. What's absolute batshit crazy to me is they're going to have a better seed in the NCAA tournament than they will in the Big 12 tournament. They're picked to finish 7th in the Big 12, and that's probably accurate. You have 5 of the top 10 teams in the country in the Big 12, plus a few others. I mean, so they're going to be battle tested. Guys of our, again, what leads you in March? Guard play and experienced guard play.
100%.
Yeah, and
100%.
Last year they didn't have it. They had good guard play. I'd like Day. I love James, but they didn't have that experience, and now they have that for a second year. And yeah, Day's he's an upperclassman, but playing in the JUCO ranks, it's not the same thing as playing through the grind of a major conference. And this year they're going to have that. And I think that more than anything else, they can be fully healthy and be able to be fully integrated into the offense. And I don't know what kind of rotation is Wes going to end up doing when he's got the full complement, but having that by March, by NCAA tournament, it's going to serve them well. And that's what's going to drive them to the weekend and beyond. in March.
In the point you made about guard play and how important that is in the NCAA tournament, it's true because in the NCAA tournament, the further you go, the more it becomes a half-court game.
Yeah.
Right? And when it becomes a half-court game, your guards have to control the game, have to get you in your set. So they become so important. You got a guy like Day-Day, he's got more experience. Jizzle, who is, man, he'll tell you about how hard that kid works.
He's a dog, dude.
That kid is putting in a full sweat, 2 hours before the game.
I don't doubt that. I've said it before. He plays basketball the way his dad played football. Absolutely, just running downhill. I've never seen someone like run that hard, go that hard to the hole, especially at a guard. It's one thing you see back in the '90s, Sean Kemp going to the hole at 6'10", but you see a 6'3" guard going that hard and taking on guys that are 6'8", 6'10".
And he's not getting bumped off like he did last year.
Yeah, exactly. He's
bigger,
dishing.
Yeah.
Because, even last year though, he's a solid. Like he was a incredibly solidly built 18-year-old kid.
He's even more
going against
now.
Men, exactly going against men. So
your point to your point to guard play that was, and I wrote back to the '92 team, the Final Four team. That's deep, in my opinion. That's along with the defense. That's the main reason that they went on that run. The guard play we had in that. We had that 4-man rotation, which was unbelievable. And when you get to the NCAA tournament, like you said, it comes down to guard play, and we have a chance of actually having really good guard play this year and experienced guard play.
Yep.
And you're not going to get a better experience than playing in the Big 12. I don't think the competition is ridiculous.
That's the important thing. So I think we can't necessarily get caught up in winning every Big 12 game, but I think we need to get caught up in, are we learning from those experiences to help us when we get to conference play and then the NCAA tournament. And that provides you. So when you get to the NCAA tournament, you're in a close game and you're playing, whoever, you can draw back to that, Saturday night game versus Kansas, and in a situation there. That'll help you later on in March when you're trying to make that run NCAA tournament. But back to what I was saying before with Taylor Keaton, the expectation should be Final Four with this group, and I'm not going to back down from that. And I'm gonna stand up and say that this is a Final Four basketball team if they do what they're supposed to do.
I've been wanting to say that. Now that you're saying it, I'm with you. The Final Four basketball team. I have it wrong. Blame Alex Mecham. He said it first.
Yeah, and it's great that you guys mentioned the guard play because obviously heading into Nichols on Friday, Day-Day Thomas is going to be an important piece, but a turning segment for this would be, sounds like Day-Day Thomas is going to be able to suit up on Friday. Wes Miller was very confident.
Good.
Following the Moorhead State game that he went through a workout on Thursday. He went through a workout Friday after shoot around, and he told Coach Miller that he was ready to go, and Wes was like, I'm not playing you still. Get healthy. We're trying to get healthy. Yeah. So give him an extra week heading into Nichols, which, in all honesty, is kind of perfect scenario because you don't want his first game to be NKU. In my opinion, you don't want that, especially what happened at NKU last time.
Right.
You don't want the first game to be NKU. So it sounds like things are trending in the right direction for Day-Day Thomas. We'll kind of know more tomorrow when we talk to Wes in the early afternoon. But overall, sounds like Day-Day Thomas is trending back, and that's a huge piece to the Cincinnati team because, as Alex mentioned, his leadership role is going to be crucial for this team this year.
Right.
Can I give a fun fact about Nichols?
Good.
Do you know this fun fact?
Don't think so.
They used to be called Nichols State. Guess who had his career high versus Nichols State?
Alex Mecham.
Alex Mecham.
What was the career high there?
7.
Hell yeah, let's go, Alex. There you go, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
7.
That brings the entire point total for this entire table to 7.
and the crowd was going wild. Alex Mecham.
Here's the best part of the story. So I had 7 points in 30 seconds.
Woo! That's some scoring ability right there. Microwave.
And, yep, that was my nickname, Microwave. And I told Dan Horde preseason. Dan Horde asked me what was my goal, other than team, but just goal individually. I said, I want to have 10 points in the game. And Dan looked at me like, there's no way. But here was my theory was our team was so good. We were beating teams before halftime by a lot. And I was getting in. I mean, walk-ons don't get in the first half. When was the last time you seen a walk-on get in the first half? Like a legit walk-on. Have you ever seen it?
I don't think I've seen one.
I think his name was Alex Mecham.
I'm playing in the first half.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that as if I'm that good. It was
your team was that good.
My team was that good.
Yeah.
So my thought process was maybe get a couple here, get a couple at the end. So I've got 7 versus Nichols in 30 seconds into the game. I throw it to the post, okay? We had a teammate named Aaron McGee. He ended up transferring to Oklahoma, right?
Yeah,
Playing with Blake Griffin. I throw it to Aaron McGee. The guy that was guarding me doubles down on Aaron McGee. Aaron's supposed to kick it back out. I've got a 3, get 10 points. Throw it down. Aaron catches it, double comes. He does some double pump, throw it over his head shot, and misses it, and the buzzer sounds. And I'm not selfish, so I just was like, it is what it is. We get back to the locker room. We won by 40.
Right.
Huggins ripped Aaron McGee for 20 minutes about that. You mother, you should have thrown you that. That's your problem. Did he transfer? It's all my fault.
It's all Alex's fault. He got transferred. So that's what we saw in the chat here. And this, I get every time I've had Terry on or Melvin or any other former Bearcats. Same question always comes up. What was it like playing for Hugs?
So I always say this. Hugs is one of my favorite coaches that I've ever had because he was so misunderstood. You would see what happens in the game and how, he would get so intense and crazy at times. But in practice, he was a teacher, right? And then off the court, man, he would do anything for you. And I just saw Hugs. What was it? Wednesday night last week for Dr. Ellis. By the way, rest in peace, Jim Ellis.
Yep.
Long time eye doctor for all of UC athletics. One of the greatest people at that university. Dr. Ellis is like salt of the earth person. So Hugs came in for his celebration of life. I see Hugs, and he hugs me. How you doing? Man, he must have told me I love you like 4 times.
That's awesome.
And everybody thinks he's just like this
hard ass.
Here's a guy like, man, I love you, man. Love you, man. Tell your dad I love him, man. And hopefully he's doing well. And so playing for him, what I loved was, yes, I'm a walk-on. Last guy on the bench, probably never going to play. But he was as hard on me as he was anyone else.
All right.
Like, the expectations for me were the same as everyone else.
And that's the way it should be.
And that's how it should be.
Yeah.
And I learned a lot. I thank him for that because I think it made me better as a person, and a lot of life lessons that I learned through UC and Bob Huggins I carry with me the rest of my life.
Absolutely. No matter what you're doing, you should try your best at it no matter what it is. And that's not – and the thing is, for you, a walk-on that's probably not going to get a lot of playing time, to go through that is a lot of guys like, man, screw this. It ain't worth it. I'm not going to play anyway.
Yep.
But that's the life lesson.
Yep.
Life is hard. It ain't always going to go your way. You just got to keep doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Yep. And
eventually it'll break, or eventually you'll get what you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah. So I love telling this story to young people. When I started the process of walking on, prior to me, if you think about it, there really wasn't a traditional walk-on anywhere in the country. There was a guy named Steve Masiello at UK, Greg Passner at Josh Passner at Arizona.
Yeah.
Later became the Georgia Tech coach. There were a couple walk-ons that were like true walk-ons, but I was one of the first at UC, and I don't think the basketball program or Hugs even knew like what are we
supposed to do with this guy?
What are we supposed to do with this guy?
Right.
So I don't think they thought I was going to make it. Right. I didn't know I was going to make it. Like, there were times I'm like, I'm sinking quickly.
You're going to kick me out of school? I'll be done.
I was guarding Ruben Patterson one day. I said, oh shit, this is not well. So here's the story. God, I love telling kids this story. So I start the process of walking on. To this day, they never told me I made the team.
They still haven't told you made the team?
And I tell Hugs all the time, just tell me I made the team.
Just one time.
He's like, nope. And so they never told me I made it. But I kept going to everything. And, obviously on the team. So first game comes around. And we got the nice Jordan uniforms, right? And I get my uniform, number 41, no name on the back of the jersey.
That's a good sign.
Everybody else has a name.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, maybe they're going to put my name on the back of the jersey, next game. Maybe they just didn't get it done, blah, blah, blah. So next game comes, no name on the back of my jersey. So now we've got a couple guys that get hurt, get suspended. They had to go to the football team and get my friend Brad Jackson.
Yeah.
They had to get Brent Petrus
Yeah.
off the football team to come join us, practice. So what they were going to do is they were just going to play for a little bit and then like go to the humanitarian bowl and be done with it.
Right.
So they're playing and practicing with us. Third game we have, no name on the back of my jersey. Hugs puts Brad Jackson and Brent in the game. Am I allowed to cuss on here?
Yeah, yeah.
These motherfuckers have their name on the back of their jerseys.
What the hell?
So I'm like, this is crazy. So
That's bullshit.
this is bullshit. So we're up by like 35 points, right?
Right.
Straight out the
Hugs-
stands, Alex.
Hugs goes, go, Alex. So I go to the scores table. I'm getting ready to check in. Still no name on the back of my jersey, right? The guy who still to this day reads off like, and checking in for the Bearcats. And he goes, number 41. And you hear this paper go. He's like looking around. And so I turn around. I'm like, are you going to say my fucking name? And he doesn't say my name. I'm like, this is crazy. Like, no name on the jersey. Dude's like, I don't know who the fuck this is coming in the game. So one of my favorite people ever, shout out Frank Jesse.
Yeah.
Frank Jesse was the one of our assistants. He comes to me after the game and he goes, I know how hard you're working. He goes, I am personally going to get your name on the back of the jersey. If I have to stitch it on there, I'm getting it for you. Next game, back of my jersey, I come to my locker. Well, let me tell you this. Come to my locker, and they have our stuff laying on a locker, and the warm-up tops are always first, and then the jersey's there.
Right.
So I come in the locker, and like Kenyon's just clapping. He's like, yeah, and I'm like, oh, just Kenyon being Kenyon, right? So I'm like, all right, cool. So I like grab my warm-up top, and then there it is, number 41, Mecham. And Kenyon's like, yeah, here we go. And I put it on, man. It felt so good, but I had to work through so much. I could have quit.
Right.
You know, I felt disrespected.
Yeah.
You know, but
it's a life lesson. I mean, it's something that you got to keep going to achieve what you're trying to accomplish.
Yep.
Don't quit.
Absolutely. And someone in the stands took a picture of me with my jersey and no name on the back. I have a picture of it.
Nice.
I show kids that all the time. I'm like,
motivation.
Absolutely, 100%.
Exactly.
Speaking of a Alex Mecham jersey, we're gonna bring up that bet that you and JT had.
Oh yeah, I've heard about this. Go ahead, Neil. You talk about it.
2 years ago, obviously it was the year the Bengals were in the Super Bowl. Meech is a big Rams fan.
Well, there was a story behind that, but yeah, go ahead.
Meech is a Rams fan. JT had a bet with Meech that the Rams would win the Super Bowl, and
There was Rams 49ers in the
49ers.
playoffs.
Oh,
okay. The loser would have to, if the 49ers lost, JT would have to come to a press conference in Alex's jersey. So the Rams end up beating the 49ers. JT is sitting in the front row with Alex's jersey on, and everyone's kind of looking at him like what is this dude wearing? Like, what is going on right now?
And you know, JT, he's like an old R&B singer. He's all cool. Like,
he's been here.
And I swear Wes looked at him and was like, is that Alex's jersey?
What the hell are you doing?
Then everyone's kind of asking after the press conference, like, what happened here? And JT goes, man, I don't want to talk about it.
I lost the bet.
I love that.
So what was the other? You said there's more to the story about being a Rams fan?
Well, several things. So my neighbor married a guy, has kids with a guy who was the strength coach at the Rams, and then the connection with McVay going to Miami, and his friend is one of my best friends. So there were a lot of ties there, and I was cheering the Bengals were kind of like, but now they're like, my dad, by the way.
How is your dad doing, by the way?
He's got his ups and downs. Thank you for asking that. I appreciate that. He's had his ups and downs. 91 kidney dialysis. So he's got some good days and bad. I tried to get him to come down here, but he wasn't feeling great today. But
I've been praying about him, giving him my prayers for you.
I appreciate that. I'm gonna tell him that. So in 1968, the first Bengals game at Nippert Stadium, he was there in the makeshift rafters that were kind of today would be a lawsuit, but they were like floating back and forth.
Right.
He was there, so I text Doug Rosfeld, the chief of staff for Zach Taylor, and I was like, "Hey, my dad's 91. Do you mind if we, come down to the stadium?" So Doug was like, "Absolutely, we'll get it all taken care of." So prior to the Raiders, it was the Raiders game. We went down to walkthrough. We're on the field. Players came over, said hello to my dad, and it meant the absolute world to him. So he's a big time Bengals fan. We watch every game together.
That's awesome.
Every game.
Well, this is a Cincinnati podcast, so I talk about everything, and we've talked about the Bengals a lot. And hope to God they win Sunday. Ain't that right, Harrison? Harrison, look, come here, Harrison, get over here, because you got a Harrison's been depressed.
Slides on too.
Yeah, Harrison's been depressed here all week, man.
He what?
He's been depressed all week.
I know his IG video is pretty funny.
Yeah, here. We'll get you.
What's up, bro?
Here's.
Hey, thank you.
Hey.
We got you.
So
what's your last name?
Butler.
Yeah.
All right.
He's
comedian.
He's Harrison the comedian. He's a comedian, local comedian here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
And he's
that's
a
what's up.
diehard Bengal fan. But I've been worried about you because we had a show Friday night and you're very depressed. You were talking about going to jail and burning the place down and everything. And I was just curious. Are you doing better?
Wait. Going to jail?
Yeah, these motherfuckers stress me out too much. I'm about to pull up to somebody's houses. I'm about to be that crazy side piece that keying cars and all that. They don't win a damn game
man.
soon. Yeah, I just went on a rant on Cam Taylor-Britt and Geno Stone before I got here, and I want to show you this message. Oh, the way.
For the record, I went to a dark place too, so
Yeah,
it's good.
it's bad.
Bengals better win.
Yeah,
So-
Harrison's coming after him.
I'm not felonious, but I did go to
Geno
a dark
Stone
place.
hearted my rent.
Oh, there you go.
I'm announcing this here.
Uh-huh.
Geno Stone is gonna have a hell of a game.
There you go.
I'm telling y'all right now.
Wait, what happened?
So I made a video about Geno Stone. Here, let's just go to the video. They ain't gonna be able to hear.
Were you like hyping him up, or were you trashing him?
I basically told him, we open because he has the.
You trashed him.
Just a little bit. I
A
had to
little
because
bit. Okay.
I'm tired of
You
being
were
nice.
you were keeping it real. with
Yeah,
him.
I was keeping it
Okay.
real. You
All
feel
right.
me? Like
I got
like
you.
because the Bengals safety Geno Stone has the second most missed tackles among safeties.
Yes.
That's unacceptable.
Okay.
And we brought you into our house, open arms. We pay you a pretty penny.
Yeah.
Bring your hips to the party, keep your head up, and tackle some damn body.
Okay.
That's it. Do
Yeah.
your job.
Yep.
So now I just had to let him know face to face.
He's a little agitated.
Because
Were you in the car?
I was in the car.
Okay, thank
I
God.
was
All
in
right,
the
all
car.
He always does the videos from in the car. So yeah,
'Cause
Did somebody like it? You said
he liked it.
He liked it?
he liked it.
He paid attention. He's solid.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
'Cause
that's
they,
what's
they
up.
always watch. They don't never say nothing.
yeah.
They'll watch the story. So I'm like, y'all hear me, but y'all ain't hearing me. So now I had to let them know, like, because I take this serious. So you,
Here, type your Instagram in there. I'm gonna follow you so I can see this shit.
yeah,
Dude, it's funny.
Hey, I'm checking your gram every Sunday.
Yeah,
We did the show in Newport, and it was the Cleveland game, and he goes, "Man, I might have to make this drive up here, but if they don't like it, somebody got to block me from the stadium. I might be going to jail."
See, if this works, it's a new thing. You just put someone on blast
I'm telling
every
you.
damn week.
I'm telling you, because I can't,
Alex Kappa's ass is next.
yeah, I can't keep holding this in to myself and not,
Yeah.
because man to man, y'all know y'all messing up.
Yeah.
So it's just my job to tell you. Because if I was in the locker room, I'm gonna tell you.
Right.
So
you're gonna get your ass whooped. You go to locker room too.
It don't matter. I told you.
Would you do them like Debo did from
For
the
sure.
49ers?
Yeah.
He
To the
pushed
long
it.
snapper.
Yeah, yes, yeah. We gonna do all that.
Where'd you go to school?
I went to Wynn-Woods.
You went to okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
I went to Wynn-Woods. So I wasn't a big UC fan or like basketball. I'm more just high football.
Okay.
But I was on the enemy side for the Xavier.
Get out.
Nah, I'm sorry.
I don't like you anymore. Get out.
My boy, he played for Xavier.
Who's that?
Samaje Christian.
Oh yeah, I know Smaje.
So we had. I was.
He's a good dude, man.
That
He's good
was the
people.
only time I ever cared
That's understandable.
about what
Yeah.
was
Well,
basketball.
you losing this year.
No, I don't
You
care.
losing this year. I don't care. You just said you losing this year.
I
I don't
want
care.
I want Cincinnati just to be good all over.
Do you follow UC football?
Yeah,
Okay.
I had a couple friends play for UC football. Malik Bomar,
Yeah.
Chris Williams.
Yep.
From
nice.
Woodward.
Yeah. I know Chris.
Brandon Mitchell too.
You know Chris's brother Quam?
Yeah. Quan Cheatham. Yep. He was 2 years under me.
Okay.
2 years under me. Yeah. Yep. So,
played at Akron.
Yep.
Overseas.
Woods had some good talent.
Man.
We don't last long in the league though. Right now we doing good. We got my boy Mike. He at Tennessee. He just got to Tennessee. And David Long. He at Miami for the Dolphins right now. So we got us 2 in there. We got us 2.
That's 2 more than West High has.
Hey, West High. I ain't gonna talk about that.
And Oak Hills, where my kids went.
I hate Oak Hills. I just thought about that. Nah, because
hey, I like this guy. He's funny, man. Like,
that's why
he's legitimately
you Oak Hills. Yeah. Nah, so I got an Oak Hills story. So my senior year, I brought back my baseball dreams. Like I played baseball growing up.
You had baseball dreams?
Hell yeah! I was about to be Barry Bonds.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was going. What? I was all that.
You hit home runs and stuff?
Not really.
Did your head get bigger?
No, but listen, damn it, this is my story. So senior year, I was like, I'm gonna play baseball. I'm done. Like normally I couldn't because we'll train for football and then basketball was over. So I was like, senior year, I'm playing baseball. We were terrible, and so I didn't know in baseball everybody makes the playoffs. So playoff game. We play Oak Hills. It was home run derby on our ass.
Damn.
You're saying we whooped your ass.
Man, what did y'all? It was crazy. It was so bad that I just knew when the ball went off, I just ran and I wanted to get one. And I did. Yeah. Like I caught the ball, I jumped over the gate and I caught it. And I was just so happy. I was running back. The ref was like, or the ump was like, show the ball. I'm like, oh yeah, I got that bitch.
Was that the final out or was that just the first?
Oh no, that was like the first.
Oh, okay.
There's a runner on third score, but his ass is jogging in.
It was
the ball.
They're on the third time through the lineup.
Yeah. I'm saying it was we were terrible.
I'm really glad Jeff brought you up.
Yeah.
I'm really.
I was feeling you. Like your story being a walk on. Hey, had your jersey in your back. I was that player too.
You felt me.
I felt that because I don't know how I made the team all 4 years of high school. Like they just had me for energy and like I was just
you were the cheerleader.
Yeah, I was that. They put in Harrison there for
Alex Mecham.
Yeah, hey, I'm with you. Yeah.
I was on JV baseball because my brother was the varsity catcher, and that was it.
Joe played left out. That's where he played.
I hear that because ended up like the coach wasn't too much older, and I ended up seeing him at the bar a handful of times. I'm like, the only reason that you put me on the team is because Paul was varsity catcher, right? He's like, yeah.
You got to
You at least lied to me.
I
get it how you live.
Drinking age, I didn't give a shit.
Yeah,
At that point, I'm like, but thanks. I mean, at least I know.
You know your worth.
Right.
You know your worth.
Exactly.
That's it.
I love the game. That doesn't mean I can play it.
Right. Everybody can't be Jordan, or you just gotta play your role.
There's only one Jordan.
It's okay. Shut up.
One?
No, you ain't about to crush our dream.
There's a bunch of Jordan.
Yeah.
They just have different names.
We was just the bench Jordan.
James.
Because couldn't nobody else do what we did. Yeah, they would have gave up. Ain't that right?
The bench Jordan. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
That could be the name of a new podcast, The Bench Jordan.
The bench Jordans.
Yeah.
Jordan
I
had
like
to whoop ass on somebody, so I mean, it had to be.
It was you two?
I didn't play basketball. I knew
what
my
the
role.
hell happened to this show?
It went downhill with the Vietnam thing. That was the start.
That would started and it's so crashed since then. Alex like, I ain't never
You
come
fought
on
the Vietnam War in North Carolina.
I love
Section 8? What the hell, man?
I love it. No, this is fun.
Alex is like, I ain't never come back on. This is why I didn't turn the camera on last time while I was on the show.
Now, you went to that school on Vine Street, right?
Oh, I went to the Roger Bacon High
The
School.
school. My son goes to my son goes to Purcell, and it's
that's definitely not
that school on Vine Street. I don't care.
Sure.
I went to Milford. I'm a poor public school kid.
Okay.
So I don't give it. It's funny that like they will not say those words. And we went there a couple weeks ago, and like y'all kicked the shit out of us. It was at a Purcell. It was my son has got one of his 3 varsity snaps was on kick coverage after they scored. I think Bacon scored with like 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Went for 2, up 5 touchdowns, which was awesome.
Hold on,
that was
Roger
this year?
Bacon good?
Yeah.
Okay. They went for 2?
Yeah, they were up 4 or 5. They were up. It was like 34-0. and they won for 2 to go up 36-0. And
Really?
then my son got in on kick coverage afterwards.
What year is
He's a sophomore.
He's sophomore.
So.
Okay, that's good though. Young, get some time.
Yeah, I mean, he never played football before.
But he has the varsity athletic ability. So.
Exactly.
When did Roger Bacon get good?
They're bigger. They're not.
What'd you say?
I'm sorry.
They're a lot bigger school.
I think my friend is the athletic director there. That Brandon Spade.
Brandon Spade, yeah,
that's my guy. I love that guy.
That's my guy.
But I always give him time. Like, so when y'all get good again?
Yeah, I was gonna say your time on the podcast is over now. But thank you for being here.
I always do that. I always somehow work my way out.
Well, let me say this. Corey Kiner.
Yeah.
Corey Kiner, Roger Bacon.
Eugene Lamb.
Yep.
What? Women's basketball. Purcell's taking that one again, 4th title in a row. They got Alexander.
Oh, no.
She's. I'm so happy that she's
Cincinnati
so happy
commit.
that she stayed here.
Yeah.
I'm so happy that she's bringing friends with her. She's number 8. Yeah, and she's bringing friends. They have a top 15 class, top 20 recruiting class. They've got another 4-star, I think. Yeah. They're building something. They're building something. And my daughter is 9. She plays basketball. She loves the game. And I asked her, like, do you want to go to a game? I'm like, yeah. She's like, do you want to go see men's or women's? Women. So I'm going to go take her to her basketball game here in a couple of weeks. Go see women's training and the women's game. So that'll be fun as hell. She didn't give a shit about football. Yeah. So I've got season tickets, and I've never taken my daughter. She didn't have any interest. My wife's out of town, so I had to take her.
Doesn't have any interest.
Yeah, exactly. And she spent the entire game looking at watching YouTube videos.
You should have just invited
down.
me out.
I needed someone to watch her, so I took her instead. My son was going out with his girlfriend.
He was being a good
A
dad.
lot of therapy for both of them.
And a bad friend. I could have went to the game.
Game. I don't have a lot of friends. That's how you gone to game.
But back to completely different.
And that's why I love that she stayed, because she can build an absolute for herself in the city. Not only just in the city, but Cincinnati basketball. Exactly. It's been a long time since Fertile. That's right. I knew it was before Michelle Fertile. When they go to Fertile, they've got a chance to build something better than they have. So they could have and it's got decent training. Got it. It's different.
Oh, yeah. That really scared me, man. Like, what story are you talking about?
So we went to college together.
Okay.
To have with your women's basketball team than now, when women's basketball has more eyes on it than it's ever had. It's just it's so big time right now. So my opinion is I think she's going to have a tremendous amount of success moving forward with all these recruits. She's really good, like Wes, like building relationships with the players. Like Wes is unbelievable at building relationships, and she is as well. 2 great hires by John Cunningham.
What did you do to your mic?
I have.
John,
are we?
Yeah, UC cut your mic off. When you
Yeah,
said-
you started talking to the man about sat and they cut you out.
Can I say something about John Cunningham real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I've gotten to know John Cunningham over the last couple years, and he, behind the scenes, has done so much for UC athletics that fans will never hear about, nor will he ever take credit for. And I'll share something, and publicly, I don't know if I should say it, but I'll say it anyway.
No, nobody watches this podcast anyway. It's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So when that whole Nike Jordan deal was going down, there were a lot of intricate pieces to it.
Right.
So it fell apart several times. And not necessarily the fault of the University of Cincinnati, but kind of the structure of apparel deals now and having to do Nike and Jordan together was very, very complicated. And John Cunningham having a lawyer background and being very smart, he worked it in a way. And my best friend is one of the third in command at the Jordan Brand Company. And my friend said, if it wasn't for Cunningham, this would have never happened.
Really?
True story. Like my friend told me that, said he managed to work it to where, and it's a deal that progressively gets better. And the way he had it set up, otherwise it would have never happened. And the reason that Cunningham pushed so hard to make that deal happen is because he heard from so many fans that they wanted that back, and he goes, I'm going to get this shit done for our fan base. That's a true, he's never, taken credit for any of that, nor does anybody know that, but he's flown and worked out deals to make sure that Nike Jordan deal happened, man.
Now, can your friend get me a pair of Jordan 4s?
Yeah, me too.
12?
Me too.
Looking for those for 35 years.
Nope.
Nope. That was the first pair of shoes, like the first shoes that, like, as a kid, I'm like, holy shit, those are the coolest damn things. I want those.
Yeah.
35 years, and I know like they have different colorway drops. I want the original white with the black and the black and red trim with the red square trapezoid, whatever the hell that is. Like, and I can't find them for less than $300.
Yeah, you got to spend a little bit of money on those.
I know.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to bite the bullet. My son keeps saying, "Do you want those?" Like, dude, you're 15, homie. You don't have a pot to piss in. You're not buying me a $300 pair of shoes off stock.
I got you, Dad.
I
I'll hook you up.
appreciate the ambition. However.
Well, if you've got good friends, that's a Christmas gift.
I don't like
Jeff.
I don't like you that much.
Oh, never mind. Jeff doesn't like you that much. So
actually, the most badass. I don't remember. I know you're renowned sneakerhead, but Air Shake Indestruct. They had the big swoosh. It was Rodman's shoe.
What'd you say again?
Air Shake Indestruct. They had the laces on the instep with the Velcro.
Yes.
Really?
And did it? Was that the one that had the basketball like on the side of it?
It was
the Rodman shoe. You talking about Rodman?
Yeah, it had the
Rodman's?
big, huge swoosh on the outstep.
Yeah.
And then the laces went on the instep, kind of
Yeah.
weird angle. Those were the coolest shoes I've ever owned in my life. And I every now and again, I was able to equip those in NBA 23 or something. I could get them for my mind player. Like, yes, I'm like.
Hey, I'm a shoe guy, so I love when people are passionate about shoes.
One of the most, we're going to talk shoes here. One of the most comfortable shoes that I remember playing in was the Nike Flight Lights.
Mm-hmm.
You remember those? I don't know what they did, but they were so comfortable and so light just to play basketball in. Those are always my favorite ones to play in. My favorite shoes probably, and I never have got them, or the I think it's the Jordan 4s, the 88 dunk contest ones.
Mm-hmm. Threes.
Those are threes.
Those were the white cement threes, I believe.
Yeah,
one.
I want the cement ones, and then I want the blacktop ones. Those are the two coolest ones. I think.
What high school did you go to?
West High.
You went to West High?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we didn't win nothing.
Huh?
We didn't win nothing.
Nothing?
No,
Did
nothing.
you play basketball?
I
or any
played
sports?
basketball, but not for West High.
He mostly played with himself.
Yeah, that's true. I did. I got really good at it too.
Brain has gotten derailed.
Man.
So how many Jordans do you have now, Alex? I asked you last time, like 3 years ago. How many you got now?
Yeah, so
Because I want to come see him sometime.
I'm sorry, what?
I said I want to come see him sometime.
576, I believe, right now. About 576.
Damn.
So I'm going to build a. My goal is to build like a
Jordan wall?
a
Jordan
museum,
room.
a museum room
there you go.
where you walk in and to the left, from top to bottom, the shoes are in these like clear box presentation deals, and it would go in a U. And it would start with the Jordan 1s, then go 2s and 3s.
What size shoe you wear?
All the way. Don't worry about that H. And so it would just keep.
I like to get to know my people. Like,
No, I know that look.
yeah, like you probably got a pair of something.
You like, I'm gonna whoop your ass in the parking lot, take your shoes. That was that look, H.
I just thought we was going. I thought we was better than that. My fault. I thought we saw a connection.
No,
I
after the
apologize.
Roger Bacon comment, it was.
Listen, I take it back. What is Spartans?
Jesus.
Love it.
What's your favorite pair then, all time?
Okay, so the Jordan.
We'll say Jordan and then non-Jordan.
The
categories.
Jordan Black Metallic 5 is my favorite shoe ever, and the story is when I was young, Michael Jordan. I used to have this TV in my room, and it was like the worst TV ever. I had the aluminum foil on the antenna.
Yeah.
Neil doesn't know anything about
I
that
don't know
shit.
anything about that.
I know about it, Alex.
You know what I'm talking about.
I got you.
We had TVs that you had to smack the shit out of the side to sometimes get a clear picture.
Same way.
Yeah.
So I'm watching the Bulls play Milwaukee on my cheap little TV.
Is that Alvin Robertson?
And, huh?
Is that Alvin Robertson Bucks?
It would have been, yeah.
Man, I'm not even sure who was on the Bucks team. But Jordan was wearing the black metallic 5s, and for some reason he put white shoelaces in them, which did not come in the shoe. But the way my TV was, it just popped.
Right.
And I was like, oh my God, Mom, I've got to get the black. She goes, well, if you cut grass, rake leaves, we'll buy them. I did it for weeks. Finally got the money, went and bought the shoes, got the white laces, put the white laces in my shoe, right? I think I'm hot shit. So this big camp called the Dave Kreider Basketball Camp comes to Cincinnati. All the top players from around the country are coming, and Hugs got it to come to the Shoemaker Center. Damon Flint's in it, Gerald Honeycutt. I can go on and on with all these. So I shouldn't have been in it. My dad helped get me in the camp, right? So I show up to the camp. I got my Jordan 5s with the white laces. I think I'm the only one. We don't have social media back then.
Right.
I think I'm the only one in the world doing this. I'm like, oh, I'm
Not so
killing them with
fast.
these. I walk in, I'm like, holy shit. They watched that game too. They had a cheap ass TV like me and saw those laces. And I'm looking at Damon Flint with the metallic 5 with the white laces, and I'm like, because it really was be like Mike, right?
You're like, how much grass did you cut to get those?
That they probably got it. Damon was so good, he probably was handed it.
Yeah.
But so the story is, I go out, I get crushed at that camp, like just destroyed. I go home, I cut the white laces out of my shoe. My dad's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I don't deserve this. I need to earn
the white laces."
So I put the black laces back in. I go out and I practice morning to night. I'd go play everywhere. It's a true story. I'd go play at Oakley. I'd go play in St. Bernard. I'd play on Reading Road at Sugar and Spice Courts. I would go all around the city and play. And then one day I said, I've earned putting the white laces back in. And so I put them back in. So I'm at the Jordan Company one day. So to answer your question, I'm at the Jordan Company one day visiting Jamal, my buddy that works there, and I'm sitting there with the president of the Jordan Company, and I'm sitting with the president of the shoe company. And I'm wearing metallic 5s with white laces.
Right.
And they're like, why'd you do that? And I tell them this story. And Josiah Lake, at the time president, goes, I want to use that. So a year later, they re-released the shoe with my name, my story. I flew out to Nike and like worked on the shoe. And
That's awesome.
they released it on Michael Jordan's birthday. They called Michael Jordan when I was there. Funny story. They called Michael Jordan and they asked him. Now he's, since retired or whatever. And they're like, Mike, we're here with Alex. We're working on this shoe. We're trying to tie this story together to kind of sell the shoe. Can you tell us why you put white laces in your shoes for that Milwaukee game? He never wore them ever again like that.
Really?
That was the only game he had white laces, and it was like one of his best games ever. And they're like, do you remember that? And he was like, I think so. And they were like, well, why'd you put white laces in them? And there's like a long pause. They're on the phone with them on speaker. And he was like, because I could. And Gentry was like, fuck, man. He was like, I'm done with you. Hangs up on him. Hangs up on Michael Jordan. And he goes, we got to make some shit up now. So he goes, he doesn't remember anything. So metallic 5s will always be my favorite Jordan ever. And having that tie with them has been really, really cool.
So what was the first time you actually got to meet Jordan? Other than the time you hung up on him on the phone.
I didn't hang up on Gentry. G Money hung up on him. So I met Jordan in Louisville at an AAU basketball tournament, and my AAU team is playing. We're in the it's called the Expo Center, and they lay down about 50 courts, and we're playing on court 1. Why we got on court 1, I don't know. That was like the premier court, and there are 50 courts laid down. It's probably roughly about 2,000 people in the Expo Center watching all the AAU games, and we're playing, and for some reason the court was like roped off. And I'm like, why did they rope off our court? So we're playing some team out of, I don't know, Iowa or something. And during the game, we had this kid on our team named Rafi Smith from Lakota East. Rafi Smith goes, oh, shit, on the bench. I was like, Rafi, what the fuck? Why are you cussing? He goes, look. And he points on the baseline.
Did the lights all just turn down to him and go, oh?
100%.
Michael Jordan.
I look down there, and sitting on the baseline on a chair is Michael Jordan. And I went, oh, shit. And these 2 big Hawaiian bodyguards are standing next to him. There's now police by the and we played half. So by the second half, midway through, the entire Expo Center is now hovered around our court. Right. So Michael Jordan's son, Marcus and Jeffrey, play the game after, and he got there early. Our game's over, and I was just helping coach that game. And Mikey Krasinski went to St. X, played on our team. Mikey goes, Meech, what you going to do? And I was like, well, walk over to him. So I start walking to Michael Jordan, right? And everybody that tries to go see him, police, bodyguards, get away, throwing away. And I'm like, shh, he's not going to let me do it. I got to see my idol. So every step I take, my hands, you know how your hands get like all clammy and shit?
Yeah.
My hands get clammy, and I'm about 3 steps away from Jordan, and I'm like, I got to turn around. I can't do this. And then I'm like, no, this is probably the only opportunity I get to meet Michael Jordan. Fuck it. So I step forward, and the bodyguards go, boom. And now I'm looking at Rock 1, Rock Point 2, like 2 Dwayne Johnsons. I'm like, so I immediately think about this guy. I read a book, and this guy said, whenever you go anywhere, act like you should be there. Like, walk with confidence. Act like you should be there. And I was like, so I look at these 2 bodyguards, and I'm like, what's up, fellas? How you been? I put my hand on their shoulders. I'm like, man, you guys looking big, man. It's been a while since I've seen you. Never seen these motherfuckers before. I'm lying my ass off. And they both look at each other like, who is this guy? And I'm like, man, everybody's doing okay? And they're like, yeah. They moved out of the way. I put my hand out, and I'm like, Mike, I'm Alex Mecham. I play for the Bearcats. First thing out of his mouth, Hugs, that's my guy. And I'm like, I know. There's a big picture of you and him on his wall from your fantasy camp. He's like, oh, I love Hugs. So he went on talking about Hugs for 20 minutes. And I'm sitting here talking to Michael. Like, finally got to the point where I was like, I'm sorry to bother you. Like, I'll let you watch your son play. You know, I'll go. And he's like, no. You stay and talk. So we just like keep talking. And Mikey's like snapping pictures. And I said, hey, do you mind if we take a picture? He's like, man, he's like, I can't, because if I take a picture with you, all these people are going to. And I was like, look, I respect that. He's like, where's the camera at? And I said, over there. So he just kind of like looked and blah, blah, blah. And I still got those pictures or whatever. So that was the first time that I met him. So
that's pretty cool. I mean, it's amazing how many places you can get into if you just act like you've been there.
Oh, trust me, I know.
You do all the time.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yep.
I ain't gonna tell my secrets though.
Yeah,
I ain't.
That's another podcast.
Yeah, that's cool.
Or maybe maybe on your IG you could tell.
Oh, that works a lot.
Yeah.
That works a lot. Yep.
Can you get your way into a Bengals safety room and either do a body snatch or
almost?
Okay.
Almost.
Do we really want Harrison being the Bengal safety? I mean,
could it be any worse?
Listen,
yes.
Could it be?
Do you see him?
Hey, hold up now, motherfucker. I know how. I'll make a play.
I'm giving you a little credit.
I'll make a play. I don't care. I might not get up after, but I'm gonna make the play. I promise you that. Man, stop playing.
I love you though.
No, you don't. You don't
Even if
believe
it's
in me.
DPI, I don't care, man. Just go.
I'm
Make
telling
a
you.
name.
Hey, we see Harrison line up one time and he gets his ankle snatched and his cart coming out.
Listen, no, I prefer a run play. I don't prefer a pass. I just put me in. I'm gonna make the tackle.
He blows both ACLs. Someone just
Why y'all don't believe in me? Like I don't like this right now. Like what? Y'all, come on, line up. After the, watch, keep the cameras rolling. After this, I'll tackle your big ass. I'll tackle you.
any of us can do shit.
It don't matter. I'm gonna tackle you.
Hey, I'm always 50.
Y'all-
my
y'all
playing days are over. I just talk shit now.
Y'all underestimate me. Okay, I'm telling you. Watch.
Hey, Meach runs every day. You might be able
Yeah,
to cook you up
Meech's
a line
probably
of
in better
scrimmage.
shape than all of us.
That's why I didn't say nothing about him. I left that man alone. I'm talking to thing one and thing two. He looked like he still got it.
I'm at least thing one, right?
Damn,
Whatever. It
I'm
don't
not
matter.
in this conversation.
He looked like he still I'm cool.
So Harrison, me and Meach,
You look like you still in the jail. Yeah, you good.
Meach and I are safe then.
Yeah, y'all cool. Y'all cool. Y'all cool.
Good.
Neil was like
Good.
2 pounds nothing.
Neil ain't say nothing. It was y'all two big mouth
Get your snap.
Dude, I take
Yeah,
it back,
you
Neil.
know,
I'm on your ass now too. Yeah, y'all got okay. Yeah,
I'm the one that said you should go jump in and take someone's spot, man.
you did, but
And go
then
make a play.
you started talking about me getting my ankles ripped and all that. That only happened one time in basketball. I got crossed over. Bad.
Who are you guarding?
It was this, one of my friends from Northwest. We both got in the game. It was the fourth quarter. My shoes wasn't even tied. So, I swear, I get in and I get in the game, and I'm on the court tying my shoes.
You had your defensive stance though?
No, nigga, I was on the knee. I was tying my shoes. So I get up,
Wait a minute, why were your shoes not tied?
because I wasn't in the
question,
game.
Alex.
I didn't play, and I'm like, oh, I need to tie these.
Okay.
I'm about to do my
You
thing.
got some Velcro, man.
So I'm tying my shoes up and I see my boy. It's me and him. Nobody wants to guard him because he was one of those short, fast dudes. So it's like everybody cleared out and had a man, and it's just me and him. So I'm like, God, all right, let me do this. So I get a position. I'm about to go. This man hit me with that bop, bop, and my knee went bam and hit the ground. And I got up and I just looked and I was like, damn. And the whole crowd just like, oh. I was like, hey, can I come out?
My shoes weren't tied.
That was the second embarrassment.
That was that before faking injuries was a thing?
Yeah, I could.
I faked one.
I actually think I did fake one, but I couldn't. I don't remember, but I think I lamped away. But
You're recovering from that concussion you had.
yeah, the second embarrassing story was senior night. I
Yeah?
got in the game and I got a steal, and our coach said we are able to dunk if we did it in practice.
Oh, he bricked that baby.
Oh no! Oh, it gets worse. So
You saw the video?
no.
I'd like to see it.
Actually-
Is there a video of this?
There probably is.
Oh, we
but
need
I
to
don't
see
know.
this.
I don't know where it's at. I don't know where it's at. But all I know is I got the steal, and all week I've been practicing. I knew how to do it. Coming up on the left, got it. So we come up, get the steal. I forgot this was real life, and I got to dribble the ball. So I make it to half court. I pick up the dribble, and I just run for it. I'm about to dunk this bitch. I ain't care. I rose, bang, and it hit the back of the and went all the way to the other side.
Wait, so not only did you pick up the dribble,
I traveled.
traveled around the world.
Yeah, I traveled, and the ball went all the way back, and the crowd went crazy though.
I know your coach went crazy.
My coach
too.
was pissed. He was like, "What are you doing? It's my time."
It's Harrison's time. You're
It's
about to
my
dunk
time.
it. You did.
Yeah, right there next to him on the bench. The rest of the game, he said, "Here's it come."
I got a bunch of basketball stories about him sitting on the bench. It was fun.
He said it was fun. Oh God! All right. Speaking of basketball stories here, you were talking about your AAU here. How did you start it in that, and what do you got going on right now with it?
Yeah, so started it 23 years ago. And it was one of those things I got into it by accident. There was a young man named Robbie Noshang going to Glen Estee High School, which doesn't exist anymore.
Nope.
It's now West Claremont. Amelia and Glen Estee merged.
My wife is a Amelia grad, so her high
Is she?
school no longer exists. I give her shit all the time.
Yeah, it's weird because at West Claremont they really don't like I don't think there's like a lot of history of the two schools. I don't know.
They were
They were
different.
terrible.
Yeah, they sucked at everything. And
everything
they weren't
was
even
bad.
rivals, I don't think.
No.
I mean, it was the same district. It was all
Yeah.
West Fairmont
Yeah.
School District, but
yeah.
they weren't.
They
like,
were terrible.
Yeah, they sucked at everything.
So this young man
why they got
named,
rid of him.
his name is Robbie Noshang, and it was real interesting. So he called the UC basketball office, and they gave him my email address, and he's a high school basketball player, and he emailed me and said, hey, I want to play college basketball. I don't know how to get there. Would you mind helping me? And I'm like, I was like, okay, like I'm still a college student, right?
Right.
And so what happened was when I graduated, I went into coaching right away, and I was coaching at Walnut Hills. And I would have him come over, and I'd train him, do some workouts, have him work out with the Walnut Hills kids. And he was like, hey, I don't have a summer team. Could you put one together for me? So we put together one for him. We grabbed a couple kids from LaSalle, Tim TP, Grayson Rhodes, got a kid out of Princeton, Khalid Bell, grabbed a bunch of kids and put them together, and we formed one AAU team. And pretty much I was just doing it to help Robbie out and these other kids, and then I was going to get out of the game and do some other stuff. And every AAU tournament we went to, people were asking me for my business card. They were like, hey, do you have any other teams? Love to get my son, on your team, because they just liked how we played, which honestly was just UC basketball.
Bearcat basketball, right?
That's all we did.
Right.
Like it was straight UC Bearcat basketball, and people were like, dude, I love the way your teams play. Can my kid get on one of your teams? And I'm like, I don't have another team. This is kind of like just a one-off. In one tournament, I left with I had a Ziploc bag, and I put all the business cards in my and people's numbers in my Ziploc bag. And me and another guy just sat down and were like, maybe we should put together some other teams.
Maybe we got something here.
We got something here. So one team, fast forward to 2024. And then next year we'll operate over 40 youth basketball teams in the greater Cincinnati area. From
how do you keep track of all that?
A lot of good people.
I was like, how many people do you have working with
35.
You? Okay.
About 35. So two guys, Kelly Davis, he's an assistant coach at Finneytown High School. Ben Fortin, who went to McNick High School. He's went to, I hate to say this, but he went to Xavier. We don't hold that against him. But both those guys kind of helped me operate, all 40 teams, and they do an excellent job. And it's to the point now where we, like, our brand of what we do, it's like known amongst the people in our community and our program.
Well, you've been doing it for over 20, 25 years?
23. Next year will be 24.
Okay.
And
23 is a good number, by the way.
It is. Michael Jordan last year was, I always say, was my Michael Jordan year with things. So next year is our Kobe year. And I think we got a good brand, because I think what makes us special, something that ties back into Wes Miller, is, all these years I've been doing this. Think about all the players that have come through our program and that are doing things now, whether they're playing sports collegiately, professionally. Quam Cheatham, who we talked about earlier, he played for us, and he's playing professionally. We have doctors, lawyers, principals. Like Nick Sherman texted me the other day, went to Elder High School, point guard. He's now the principal of a big school in Eastern Kentucky. Like, it's amazing to see what all these people go on and do, and they reflect back on their time playing AAU basketball and how much it meant to their development, right? So you look at Wes Miller and how he pours into those young people, because those are impactful times in their life, and the message you deliver to those kids could put them on a trajectory, man, to take over the world. Like, we have players. I got one quick. I gotta say this. John, I'm not gonna say his last name, but kid played in our program, John. He went to college. He speaks 9 different languages.
Damn.
So let me tell you this.
Jeff can't speak one.
Right.
I struggle with English enough.
He speaks 9 languages. So he speaks so many languages that he can now go anywhere in the world and communicate with anybody, because when you go to different parts of the world, they speak some form of something he knows, whether it's Italian,
right,
French. It's like he speaks.
There's different versions of Spanish.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I never knew that until I started met some Mexicans and then some guys from Cuba. To me, it's still Spanish, but there's difference.
Exactly. And so he now works for a company, and he's one of the only guys in the entire company that they can send anywhere in the world. He's global, and he goes around and just talks, and he's the only one that can speak the languages. And it's one of the most amazing stories, and he's like super successful. He bought a box at the Bengals. What was the game we lost on the Ravens?
So we lost a lot on this year, but you got to be more specific.
Yeah. He bought a box at the stadium, and he invited me and a couple other folks. And this is his first time back in the States. He lives in Hong Kong. It's just, I mean, shit like that. Like, I don't remember how he did in AAU. I don't remember the like wins and losses or how many scored. Like what he's doing now, and for him to say we had impact on his journey is just like,
that's what you get into coaching and stuff to begin with, is to make impact on young people's lives. That's what it's all about.
For sure.
If you're not getting into it for that reason, then you shouldn't get into it, to be honest.
No question, man. And shout out to everyone out there that's coaching, our teachers. Like, gosh, man, the impact teachers. I had so many great teachers in my journey that I still stay in touch with, like, teachers I had from 7th grade because of the impact that they had on me. And it's just, I try to make sure I do that every step, everywhere I go with young people. Just try to have some positive impact with them.
Right. So how has the AAU scene changed from when you started to what it is now?
I can only imagine.
Yeah,
I'll be seeing some of the highlight tapes of AAU games.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm like, man, what the?
Well, so, and I'm glad you said that, Harrison, because so what sometimes people see is they see a certain part of AAU and they think all of AAU's like that, the Instagram part. Yeah. Exactly, Jeff. But really, there's so many layers to AAU, right? You have like the creme de la creme where you got like the Cooper Flags and, all the, EYBL 5-star guys. That's one level of it. We're not anywhere near that level. And then there's the level where we're at, we help a lot of kids get on to, Division II, Division I level at the lower level. We don't have anybody going to Dukes and stuff like that. But the beauty is now, the way the system is, you can go and play at a D2, a low D1 for 2 years and jump up now with the portal and be an impact player.
Yeah. So that's the good part of the portal that people don't realize.
That's the good part, right? But from a standpoint of, you go back to my story, or even like a guy like Kenyon Martin, like these guys, it's so easy to get in the portal now. Mm-hmm. They would have jumped in the portal. We may have never have seen a Kenyon Martin.
Yep.
With the way the system is now, right? Well, I don't know if we'll have another like 4-year player ever like a Kenyon Martin.
Not that's the dominant.
Right? Because if he's that good,
if
he's that good, he's going to the NBA. You're not going to see 4-year players,
or they're going to because obviously he get playing time because how the teams were always good.
Yeah,
so, someone with as the pedigree that he had, and he wasn't a top blue chip 5-star, but he didn't get a ton of PT as a freshman, so chances are he might have looked to transfer out, go somewhere else. Go to a max school as a sophomore, and then get time that way. But I like that it lets the players, lets the kids have more control over their journey.
It's good and it's bad because sometimes it's good to stay and sometimes it's better to leave. It's hard to figure out when you're 19, 20 years old what you should do.
Right. Well, and it's good. So when you can tell when people have good people around them, i.e. Rayvon Griffith. Like last year, if Rayvon did not have Trey Dees and the great support, Trey Dees is an amazing person. Trey.
Yep, I know Trey. I can second that.
And he's around Ray and many others. Alex, Tyler McKinley's brother, Alex, also helped support Ray. If that was anybody else, Ray would have been in the portal and gone.
Right.
Like he redshirted and he embraced that. Like if you watch the games last year, Rayvon is on the bench cheering.
Yes.
Yeah, like
off the bench.
You know what I'm saying? And so, I think if you have good people around you to help give you, and listen, we in today's society too much think about right now instead of looking at the long
instant gratification.
Like it's a long game. Like if you play the long game, it's like when my buddy got drafted to the NBA, he always said it's not about right now. It's about that second contract.
Yep.
I've got to do this, this, and this to get that second contract. I have to be a professional, right? And he understood that because he was taught. He had the right people around him. Like, it's a long game. It's not about scoring this many now. It's about learning from the vets in front of you, learning how to play 82 games as a professional so that when you get that second contract, you are a professional. You've earned that.
Exactly. Now, what's your thoughts on the NIL? Because I have thought for years that college players should be getting paid.
Yeah.
But when you're 18, 19 years old, you're getting $1 million or more, and you're getting any kind of car you want or anything. I know myself, I probably would have fucked it up and messed the whole damn thing up.
Oh,
but,
yeah, we all would have.
Yeah. So that's where I think guys like you and people in their lives come in. How hard is that to keep the good people in, the bad people away?
Well, there are a lot of people that are floating around that are trying to get a piece of the pie. And that's the difficult part for a lot of these young people, especially some young people that don't have, I think, a lot of guidance. But the NIL was poorly put together. NCAA and Neil knows this. The NCAA lost that lawsuit, and they basically just said, "Hey, do whatever, Wild Wild West,"
and that's what it is.
Yeah. And it's something like you said, Jeff, that needed to happen. But I think it needed to be regulated.
Yes.
It needed to be set up in a proper way.
Should have been a rollout. Should have been a rollout as opposed to just all or
Just
nothing.
throwing it out, yeah.
It was, they lost the lawsuit.
Yeah, exactly.
They said, fuck it. And I think July 1st, all players become employees. This July 1st.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Isn't
that right?
that.
Isn't that right? So
it's July 1st.
July 1st, they become employees. So
they get a pension now?
I don't know how that works.
I don't know.
I wish I knew, but
I don't think they're going to be there long enough to
probably
to
not.
pass.
Probably not.
Unless you're like Dylan Gabriel and you're like a 45-year-old.
Not even
quarterback.
Dylan
or
Gabriel.
CJ Frederick.
Yeah, TJ Frederick.
Yeah.
He's on year
7, 8.
7.
Not even
yeah.
that. What about
7?
that tight end from Miami? He was on year 9 down there.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Right.
That guy was 9
He
years.
was on 9
That's
years.
ridiculous.
Oh my! I think we
Crazy.
went to high school together. Right?
Yeah, he gonna be he gonna have a doctorate or something.
Right,
out of
he
that?
better.
Like,
His kid's going to be his backup.
So I got a question for you, Alex. This is my premise here that I think should happen for basketball and football. They're the schools that make the money. Is that they eventually are going to break away, get smart enough and break away from the NCAA and create the professional or college football alliance, college football league, along with college basketball. That to me, and that would make the most sense because then you could take the school, the swimming team, the volleyball team, all that don't make as much money, and get them back into regional groups, so they don't have to go out to California and go out there. It's because they're most of the time they're there to study. Most of them are not going to go professional. I mean, there are some who go to the Olympics and stuff like that, but you still got to have a degree. What's the chances? Because I can see this happening. I don't know when. What's your thoughts on it? Do you think that could eventually happen? Because they don't need the NCAA. They really don't.
My friend 2 years ago told me that was going to happen, and I believe him. He's pretty in tune with all that stuff. So he's in college athletics. That will happen. I think there will be that breakaway
because you got the Power Four. Just create your own freaking thing. I mean,
it's so. But you got to remember this though. We've got to look at like sports, collegiate sports in like totality. So look at baseball, look at tennis. In so many ways, those sports have done it a different way than basketball and football. So in tennis, I'll give you John McNally. John McNally, Kate McNally, both went to Madeira High School. Mm-hmm. John McNally, when he was in high school, was going to Ypsilanti for a tournament in high school and getting like $1,500, $2,000 checks for playing that tournament. Goes to Ohio State. But, you look at the U.S. Open, name the college that any of those players in the U.S. Open went to. Zero.
So my son grew up playing hockey. If you go to hockey, they don't go. Yes, there are college hockey, but if you're a good hockey player, you go to juniors. You don't go to that. So you go from juniors to the NHL. It's a completely different thing.
Yep,
they're getting paid for that.
The developmental leagues are actually professional opposed to
Correct.
and that's what the NFL the NFL thrived on.
Yeah, that's what
using
is.
And until the past however many
yeah.
that it's just been this so undervalued by everyone else as a developmental league. And yeah,
and that's what that's what it's always been.
I think it's asinine, and this is more just a larger thing. I think it's fucking crazy that college, an institution of education, of propelling yourself for a future, sponsors sports as a actual. I just like the European club model. Like you have 14, you get signed to a developmental deal at 14 years old, and then you just work your way up through that. And I think it's so much better because the teams are trying to. I don't know. I hate the college model. I'm just going to put it that way.
Yeah. So I think with you look at football and basketball, and kind of the point I was trying to get at was those are such large revenue generating sports. Yes. Mm-hmm. So they want to make sure that the best players play college basketball, play college football, whereas tennis and even baseball, some of the best players aren't playing at the collegiate level, right?
Right.
But you go overseas, right? And I've got a kid right now. His name is Vlad. Vlad is a war refugee, and he was living in Cincinnati for a little bit, and got to know Vlad pretty well. Good basketball player. He's now moved to Ireland, and he plays on a pro team in Ireland. He is 16 years old. He'll never play school or college. Well, he wants to play college basketball because he wants to live in the States, but because he's a war refugee. But
well, can't he do that now since he's getting paid? How does that work over if you're in Europe?
He can still do it.
He can still do it.
Oh yeah. So NIL. Never mind. I'll think,
so
show my age again.
But there's so many other models that I think college and basketball could do, but then you cut into all the money that NCAA makes, and that's part of
That's why the NCAA sucks. Because they don't give they don't give a shit about the players or the kids. They want to make the money.
Remember that commercial? You ever see that commercial where like during the NCAA tournament though, NCAA will have a commercial where they talk about the student athletes and how they care about them. I'm like, what? Like everybody knows this commercial is like BS. Like,
I mean, you ever seen? You probably have seen the 30 for 30 with the Fab Five.
Yeah,
Jalen Rhodes. Perfect. He laid out, dude. He's like, I wouldn't make it nothing.
Yep.
He's like, and that's what college like basketball players, football players, they would have to. They're making less money than because you guys can't go get jobs. You got a scholarship player. You can't go get a job.
Well, and it's funny they try to equivocate. They try to say like, well, you're getting a free college education.
So
the amount of actual value that a high level football or basketball player, the amount of value that you're providing to that school for marketing and like how much money a school makes. Exactly. Like and how many of these kids are actually there? How important is the education that they're there for? They're there to advance in their next step in like taking an economics class. Yeah, it should be important. Like they need to have a life.
They need to learn life skills and how to balance a checkbook and stuff like that. But they're there to play sports.
Yeah, right. Like anthropology will help a lot when you're trying to get to the NBA or at least to the G League or something.
Well, think about how many guys that are on the basketball team. Like a lot of guys now aren't in school long enough to get quote unquote a full education.
Oh, yeah.
They aren't like Dan Skilling's even talked about. This should be my last year if I do what I'm supposed to do. Now, whether he'll be back next year to play another year or get drafted, whatever. But even if he does, he's not long enough to really like even get that.
But in the aspect of that, if Dan's been here 3 years, summer classes and whatnot,
I cannot believe he's been here 3 years already.
Yeah, summer classes and whatnot, he should be able to have a degree.
Yeah, I mean, you got online stuff now, but a lot of guys aren't here. Like even in the summer, they're going training now. So, it's just a different game. And we still love college basketball. We still love college football. I mean, look at the crowds, right?
Absolutely. I mean, look at the crowd. You got 100 and something thousand people at the shoe at Ohio State just to watch college football. I mean, the money's not going anywhere. Yep. So I mean, that's when people say, well, the money will drive. The money's never going to drive. They'll keep finding the money.
Yeah.
It's just the thing is if they're quote unquote for the student athletes, what about the other student athletes? Like, because I had a buddy of mine, his sons had an opportunity to have a scholarship for baseball, But according to him, there is no full ride for baseball.
No, it's all partial. It's all
Yeah,
partial.
it's all partial.
Yep.
So,
Like
I mean,
they've increased the amount of scholarships. I think now you're given 25 scholarships for baseball, but
Right.
no one, they're not taking those because
So-
that's too much money.
right. So if you got drafted, why the hell would you go to college? If you go play, get paid in the minors.
Yeah.
So
But the difference for that is, hate to cut you off, Meach. The difference from going from the minor league baseball is you're making, like, there's a whole lot of controversial opinions on minor league baseball because of the pay.
Right.
You're paid shit.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
unless you're a bonus baby, unless you get drafted high and you get a really nice signing bonus.
That goes back to the
You're
whole
making
topic
crap
of
money.
like minor leaguers having to sleep on like 3-4 guys. In
Oh
the
yeah,
hotel room
Yeah.
and
They stay
everything.
with host families. They can't afford.
$700 a week or something like that.
They're
which
getting
is
paid less than minimum wage
less
for the
than
actual
minimum wage,
time
essentially.
in terms of practice and training and games.
So that's a big reason why they go back to school.
And I think next year, Neil, the scholarship for basketball at the Division I level will be, they have 15 scholarships, and you can only keep 15 guys. So you know what that eliminates, don't you?
Walk-ons.
Walk-ons.
Well, essentially, I think,
Walk-ons are done.
is it for sure done next year, or is the roster not jumping to 17?
15.
I mean, you can always hope for schools with violations and lose scholarships. They'll have to use walk.
Yeah, these walk-ons then.
So yeah, so like we're watching Bowling Green on TV. Like schools like Bowling Green probably can't afford 15 scholarships.
Right.
So they may have 12 to 13, and have walk-ons.
Yeah.
The fill out that 15-person roster. So yeah, but schools like University of Cincinnati, Xavier, and others may not have walk-ons moving forward. So I shed a little tear right now.
We'll be able to cheer for the walk-on, which is always that to me is always the coolest part of the UC basketball because they're usually kicking ass and they're winning.
Oh, when the walk-ons get in?
Yeah, the walk-ons get in.
I tell you what, I know I'm biased, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I think if you really look at it, UC has
fan
had
club up here.
Don't worry about what I got going on.
I was people come waving at me. I'm like,
H is chilling with
I'm
us.
like, waving at me.
Hey, he's with us. You know when you get in a club, no, he's with us.
Exactly.
He's with us.
Y'all are them.
That one friend that's trying to shoot a shot at every girl. Yeah, he's with them.
If you look at the long line of walk-ons at the University of Cincinnati, like there has been so many great walk-ons.
Meeker.
John Meeker, in my
The boy
opinion,
from Troy.
is one of the greatest walk-ons ever at UC because he had so much freaking energy and like the fans really embraced him.
Didn't he
played
follow
that
you?
role.
Wasn't he like
He
right?
did.
Yeah.
He followed me.
That's
He took it to another level.
Yeah.
Like
Were you there when Bearcat Nikki was there?
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I remember.
What
Bearcat
happened to
Nikki.
her?
I'd liked me.
I liked Bearcat Nikki.
Late teenage me really liked Bearcat
Tw-
Nikki with the sea paw on her exposed belly.
You need some time
20-year-old
alone, bro. You might need a few minutes alone.
Yeah.
You have a little flashback.
I need to look that up. What the hell going on?
Yeah.
What is this?
Yeah, she was
nice.
She was
a great
attractive.
She was an
And
awesome
she wore-
Bearcat fan.
She wore like, I don't know, sports bra or just some crop top shit and always had the sea paw spanner
Yeah.
on her belly.
Okay.
In the fan section right behind the
You got a
basket.
picture somewhere with
That-
that head.
Right
She
here.
she was
25
towards
years
the
ago, man.
end
Ain't
of
going
mine, and then and part of Meeker's, I believe. And then I mean, you've got guys like Brandon Miller, who was a walk on,
Yep.
and listen, when Mick Cronin took over the job, he had Ced McGowan, Ronald Allen, and Brandon Miller. Those were the three
Yep.
people on the roster. And Brandon had to play versus Ohio State. He played big minutes when they played that gauntlet of a team in Ohio State.
Yeah, when they
And-
finally decided to play us.
Yeah, I know.
I don't want to get into that.
And then, you look at Alex Eppensteiner was there, Zach Tober,
Tober time. There you go, Brad.
and it just, I mean, you go on and on. I mean, even Chase Kirkwood over the last couple years. Sam Martin. God, Sam was talk about like Sam was there 30.
Favorite.
I always told. I've known Sam since he was 9 years old. I said, you were walk on with Oscar Robertson. Like he's been there forever. Like
He had that year too.
he had like 3 COVID years. Like
Jeez.
I love Sam, but like, I watch college basketball and I pay attention to especially local, like Xavier and like they just. No offense to their walk-ons,
Xavier
but
sucks.
Oh,
They don't-
you can offend them, please.
they don't
Yes,
have
we're-
the
you're allowed to.
walk-ons like UC, man.
Right.
Like, it's something about walk-ons with UC that is unbelievably special, and I'm honored to be probably the worst walk-on of all of them, but I can say
you started that tradition.
That's
I
legendary.
started that.
And, that was, and
Thank you.
not a Paul Doherty fan, and the former writer for the Inquirer, but he called, and it might have been Meeker. I can't remember who it was, but he called him the human victory cigar.
That was Meeker.
Was it? Okay, I thought so.
Yep, that was
When he put him in, like that's lighting your victory cigar. You let that guy in, you're up by probably 30 points with, after the last TV timeout. You're like, okay, we can kick back.
Chill out. It's a victory.
Relax, game's over, and
And remember this: the more that you see a walk-on in the game, that means we're winning by a lot.
Exactly.
You gotta take pride in that. Take pride in that shit.
That's right.
Exactly. All right, Alex, man, I appreciate you, man. You've been on for almost 2 hours here. Tell everybody about the podcast you two guys got going on. Anything else you want to plug before I let you go?
Yeah, so Neil Meyer, JT Smith, we have the Bearcat Tip-Off Talk podcast that we release before every UC basketball game, either the day before or the day of. We sold out of all of our sponsorships.
Yep.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Shout out to all those
Oh my
guys.
gosh! Like
You
I
get
mean,
sponsors?
yeah.
Man, I gotta figure out how to do
You don't get paid.
that.
My bad. I shouldn't have opened up that can. But yeah, we appreciate all the fans and support and everyone listening. And it's just cool to give Bearcat fans some perspective on the game. That's in
Absolutely.
Neil's working so hard. With
Neil's
his
the man.
craft. Yeah, and then JT is salt of the earth human being. And shout out JT's two kids, Zane and Juju. Great kids. He's done a great job raising them. So it's just I'm honored to be working with these guys, and we have a lot of fun doing our. We recorded it like 10:30 at night, the night before. It's a late night grind, and Neil has like 30 cats and shit. So they're like the Wu-Tang clan of cats. So there's like the RZA, the Jizza, there's the Capadon, there's like Method Man, and we'll be doing a podcast, and you'll see flying over his head.
That's what happened to me yesterday on the podcast. I had Ember, our one cat, come and visit me the whole time.
I'll make one promise on the pod this year, and that is to not go missing.
There you go.
Oh, he went missing one time.
Really?
We did a podcast, and then UC played NKU, and then Neil disappeared for a
Fell
little
off
while.
the face of the earth.
Where did Neil go?
Dark
In a
place.
long lost land. No. Where did you go? We never found out.
I was out with some friends. Just
Thanks.
didn't tell the parents.
Hey, guys, that's some good time, guys.
No, he
How are ya?
legitimately was like
Four for
missing.
28.
He was missing.
Really?
His dad, who I've never met in my life, have no fucking idea how he got my cell phone number. His dad texted me, said, "This is whatever your dad's. What's your dad's first name?"
Ed.
This is Ed Meyer. I'm Neil's father. Have you seen Neil? He's missing.
That's
I
hilarious.
woke
Where
up at
is
like
Neil
7
Meyer?
in the morning, had 90 missed calls, 90 texts.
On
Oh,
Cincinnati's
that's-
Law and Order SVU.
That's
Nah,
what. Like,
in real
yeah,
life was that.
so did you have pictures? Were you able to the hangover and
Nope.
develop pictures going? Oh my
was,
god!
Yeah, that would have been a good story.
That's
man.
what you were
Yeah, that
doing.
would've been.
We were getting ready to like call like Ice-T and the Law and Order folks, whatever the other people's name are,
The party
Stabler,
with Neil.
Stabler and them.
That 4 for 28 in the second half of NKU, I disappeared.
He's
I'm
done.
out of here.
I'm out. See ya.
We went dark.
Can't take it anymore.
I couldn't cover the game because NKU I had no Wi-Fi. 4 for 28. Yeah, it was just a sad night.
There's
You're like-
nothing to do over in Highland Heights either.
No,
Apparently there is.
You get blacked
Neil
out drunk.
found out.
Neil found it.
nah, that campus is awful. The campus
It's concrete and nothing.
It's NKU.
kids are paying like $24,000 to school over there, and their Wi-Fi isn't stable throughout the week.
That's
Ask
horrendous.
Meg, she'll tell you. She
Meg,
disappeared.
Meg left.
It's 2024. How the hell do you not have Wi-Fi?
It's NKU.
There you
Guys, Dan and Terry called the 2022 UCNKU game off their phone.
go. Oh, yeah, I
The
remember that.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
I remember
I remember that. They
I
sounded,
remember
and they
that.
sounded awful too.
Because
Yeah.
the Wi-Fi
Yeah.
cut out.
I remember that. Hey, do you guys go to a lot of the Bearcat hoop games?
I used to. I work too early in the morning to go, but I go to as many as I possibly can,
Okay.
which hasn't
I
been
don't
a
get
lot.
a chance to really catch that many.
I
I watch them all the time.
If I can.
Harrison, he wasn't talking to you.
I'm sorry. That's twice.
I love my kids, but they
I
ruin
can't get no
things.
shoes. I can't get no tickets.
Well,
Oh.
if
Wait, you give away tickets? Yeah, I want to go.
occasionally if I get a large group of tickets, sometimes my guy doesn't go and he's got a whole row. And if he doesn't go,
Yes.
I will give them a Neil to give to you guys.
I knew I
That-
liked Neil
that
for some
would be-
reason.
that
I
would
knew
be-
I liked Neil.
I knew I like white people.
Oh, and I brought H is too funny. I brought some. If you don't have them, some copies of my my book.
Ohio, for God's sake.
Cool,
I
cool,
bought-
It's all about
So
who you know.
I'll sign them for you.
Awesome. Where can people
You
find
guys-
this at?
My book just got republished. My publisher passed away, unfortunately, and I had to get a new publishing company. And you can have that, H. And
Sweet.
Thanks, brother.
Neil, do you have one?
Something.
I do not.
Here you go.
Got something.
Thank
Got
you,
something.
man.
See, and what's really nice is Jeff's still learning how to read, so this is going to help him with
Yes.
the phonics.
You know, the timing of this is great.
I know.
Hooked off
I
phonics did
know.
not work for me.
Look how big the letters are,
Hey,
Jeff.
it's got pictures
Pictures?
in it. I like it. All right. Woo, look at his skinny arms there. Dang.
Yeah. I was.
He's got a fro.
That was before Mickey Marotti.
Yeah, Mickey Marotti changed my life. That's for sure.
Are we going to see Headband Meech in this?
No,
What?
that's JT.
I know JT.
I
got
do-
that
I
headband.
never wore it.
you got the pimp beard in this? The
So you got-
ludicrous beard?
Huh?
The ludicrous beard?
That was no. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's the Backstreet Boys beer.
Oh, Backstreet Boys. Oh, my
let's
bad.
Make sure we get that right.
Backstreet
My bad.
So
Boys.
if any of y'all went to UC a couple years
Oh,
ago,
God.
Meech can attest. JT was rolling up to the parties and the occasions with a nice headband on through his college days.
Oh, we need pictures of this.
Oh,
We definitely need
We got
pictures of
There
this.
are a couple.
That's cool.
The
couple.
Nelly days.
All right, need to tell everyone where they can follow you at, man.
I'm on Instagram, Twitter. What is it? Alex @Alex_Mecham MEACHAM. TikTok. I don't do any dancing on TikTok, although I need to
I
start.
think you should.
You guys
I
want
can
to
help
get like
you
a
with that.
routine? Okay,
Harrison,
all right.
Harrison used to be a break dancer
We're gonna
back in
do
the
it.
day.
Did you?
Yeah.
I mean, he also has an OnlyFans too, so it's all right.
I
You-
see.
You
Okay.
know what? All right, this friendship is over now.
Yeah.
I can't keep being along with these.
H, they just been killing you
They-
the
you
whole
see, and I
time.
just-
Picking on the black dude,
It
like
is-
it's crazy, dog.
This is why I need some
Like,
Jordans.
I just wanted to invite to the cookout.
Listen, no, it's your band now. Your band, Alex and Neil, cool.
Damn it, fucked it up.
Strawberry Ice, he working his way out. But-
Wait. Oh, by the way, what's the nickname from?
His
yeah,
OnlyFans.
yeah, my OnlyFans.
Shit. All right, I'm out.
It was my stripper name. I didn't make any money at it.
Oh,
No. So back when I wanted to get in radio, I worked at 100.9 The Wiz.
yeah.
And I did a sports report there in the morning with Freddie Red,
What year was that?
1994.
Okay.
And Vanilla Ice was big, and white guy, red face, so they couldn't call me Jeff, so they called me Strawberry Ice.
Really?
Yeah, so I just kept it.
Wow.
I still have friends of mine before I started doing the podcast that would
He
call
had
me
friends.
that. Yeah,
I-
well, before you, okay, then yeah.
I had no idea that's where that would go.
Yep.
That's
People go, why did you name yourself that? Trust me, I did not name myself that.
instead of Vanilla Ice,
That's
you
funny.
became
Strawberry.
Strawberry.
Strawberry
Wow.
Ice.
Did you work with was there a guy in sales named Josh Gutman? You don't remember that? Okay.
Dude, you're talking 20, 30 years ago.
Okay.
Maybe.
All right. Yeah, there was a guy who used to work there. I thought I could see him giving you that name, but
No, it was
Anyway.
Freddie Red gave it to me. That's who
Really?
gave it to me. Yeah,
nice.
that's who gave it to me.
Now I know.
There you go. Neil, tell everyone where they follow you at.
Yeah, you guys can follow me on X at MeyerNeil6. You can check us out over on the podcast, the Bearcat Tip Off Talk podcast with Alex Mecham, JT Smith. You can find us at CincinnatiRivals.com or aka the Front Office News. So continue to check us out. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers on our YouTube, so go check it out. We got a couple interviews that we dropped today. Go check us out. Give us a like and a subscribe. We would appreciate that. But also do a like and subscribe to Jeff's show as well.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, I just can't call it X. Like I call it Twitter because
I call it Twitter, but
Like
yeah.
I can't call it X.
True. I didn't
Yeah.
think
It
that
just
way.
doesn't sit.
Yeah, it
You know what I
doesn't
mean?
sit
It just
well.
doesn't-
well, the thing is, Twix. We say Twix. But the thing is, you tweet stuff out. What are you going to X stuff out? That's
yeah, you just
Skeet it out. I mean, that sounds bad.
yeah. I don't.
Well, every time I think of X, it's D-Generation X.
I am on.
You on
I'm
fire
glad I
tonight.
didn't hear
Fucking unhinged
You are
right now.
on fire.
I am
right now.
completely
Ever
unhinged.
since the Bearcat Betty, whatever her name was, your head ain't
Bearcat Nicky.
Bearcat
He
Nicky.
just
What'd
went
you
off the
call her?
rails.
Bearcat Betty.
Bearcat Betty.
Yeah,
Oh, back
it went together. I'm sorry.
He said Bearcat Betty.
It sounds like it'd be his name.
Hey, Harrison, why don't you tell people where they can follow you at so they can hear more of your
Yes.
your comedy here?
Harrison the Comedian on Instagram, Harrison Butler on Facebook, Harrison the Comedian on TikTok. Yep.
and we
Yeah.
and we got a watch party we're doing Sunday, right?
Oh yeah,
Might-
yeah. I
might
just
tell
got
about
the
that.
flyer for that too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we gonna be at Trillions.
Trillions.
Trillions on Sunday for the watch party.
Watching the Bengals win.
Watching the Bengals win.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, look at the
Food
Flyers.
days.
Woo, look at that. Damn, I look good.
Where's trillions? We go from millions to billions. Is there no
Millions, billions, and trillions.
Where's trillions?
It's in Westchester.
Yeah.
Okay.
What? Columbia? No.
Yeah, Columbus.
Avenue, Columbus Road.
Yeah.
Out that way.
Okay.
You can stop by if you want.
This is it during the Bengals game?
Yeah, during the Bengals game.
Only problem is I watched the game with my dad. And I can't really get him out because of the kidney dialysis.
I got you.
That's become our
Plus,
bonding
it's a
thing.
Sunday night game, and like I'm old. Like I can't.
It's a
make
late
games.
game.
I'm
too,
older
right?
than you are.
Yeah,
Hush.
but you got different schedules at work.
Aren't
Yeah, I work early.
Yeah, 8
Chargers aren't they like a 3-game winning streak?
They're
Don't worry,
But
we about to whoop
they're
their ass.
primed for a loss.
They have
Yeah.
one decent win, and I think it's the Broncos. So they have no decent wins.
Okay.
They're a little bit of fool's
Dude,
gold.
the way Burrow and Chase are playing,
Yeah, but they're the way the other 22 guys are playing. The other 19
They're gonna
guys
whoop their
after,
ass.
after Trey
Burrow and
Anderson.
Chase have gone for 900 yards and 5 touchdowns versus the Ravens, and you can't win shit.
Well, so
They're
I
gonna
don't
win.
think we have to worry about some of the other guys because Harrison got them straight now.
I did.
Right.
They're
Yeah, I
they're
did.
straight.
I did my boy.
Hey, just pick 2 guys, put them on blast a
I'm
week.
telling you,
Every
watch.
week. Just
There you
take
go.
it's 2 at a
Watch.
time and just they'll by the end of the year.
If
they'll-
you need a
they'll be right.
motivational speaker for your teams or anything, I got you. Got you.
What would he charge?
Just for you, good. We good. We
I
good.
appreciate you.
Yeah, for you.
I
no, you ain't got
appreciate you,
worry.
dog.
So he gets an invite to the cookout.
I told you that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm always
doesn't like you.
the cookout, bro. Come on, man.
Come on.
on that note, I'm going to say I appreciate you guys coming on. Thank you very much.
Welcome. Thanks for having me.
No
Thanks
problem.
for having us.
No problem. Thanks, guys. We have to do this again sometime for sure. I want to shout out the sponsors of the podcast as soon as I get to all the stuff here on. I'll shout out Priority Lawn and Landscaping. Check them out. I know the grass is not growing anymore, but you get your leaves cleaned out. They do also do snow removal. So check out Priority Lawn and Landscaping. Also, Alex, have you been to West Side, the Midwest Best yet? Barbecue?
No, I'm vegan, so
well, then
I'm
never
not-
mind.
Yeah.
He said that before. I forgot. But anyway, if you're not vegan and you like chicken, go out to Midwest Barbecue. Well, I
Do they?
don't know if they have it or not. I don't.
Oh.
Uh,
Yeah. But
I don't think Midwest Best has that. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, there you go. Midwest Best. You should get some vegan chicken and Alex come out. You can name it the Alex Mecham special. There you go.
There we go.
Yeah.
I like that.
I'm trying to get up, man.
Appreciate it.
Also, it's brought to Meyer Window and Doors. Check them out at www.meyercincinnati.com for all your window and door needs. I got them in my house. I highly recommend you get them in yours. Also, my West Side peeps, go check out Hail Marys, your ticket to the game. Right there in the heart of Cheviot. Big ass TV screen, beer specials, food trucks. It's an awesome, awesome place. And me and Harrison will be at Millions Cafe this Friday night.
Me too, asswipe.
Hell,
Man, I used to party at
There
Millions
you
back
go.
in the day. Oh man. Then what was MLT?
MLT's
MLT's
across the
right
street.
Yeah.
I've stumbled out of those
Man,
places
and then-
many
So,
times.
Then it got
Man.
pizza. What's the pizza
Lucy
joint?
Blues.
Lucy Blues, and
To
then
buy the slice that was so good.
yes, sir. And then Raimundo's was right down the
Raimundo's up the
street.
street. Yep.
Oh my God.
These damn East Siders.
Absolutely.
I don't know. Well, you're
Dude,
not going to be there. You're
Mount,
going to be there.
Mount Lookout was the shit, man.
Hey,
That
I
was,
like
Well,
that was-
hey, Mount Lookout
I might
was
be
the
there,
shit.
okay?
All right,
It
you might
was.
be there. All
I
right.
got a flight
Harrison
catch
might
it.
be there. Joe will be there.
yes.
We're gonna be there at 6:30 for 7:30, having a good time. Me and Harrison are gonna be at Trillion, so make sure you guys check that out.
Be there.
And come here. The next home game, Border Mercedes at Fort Mitchell Moerlein Lager House pregame experience 3 hours before every single game. It is the best deal on the banks.
You know who the next home game is, don't you?
The motherfucking
Fucking Steelers.
Fucking Steelers.
Team near West Virginia.
We're gonna beat their ass. So before we do that, come to Mercedes-Benz at Fort Mitchell Moerlein Lager House pregame experience. Best deal on the banks. 2 of the greatest words in the English language: open bar, plus a beautiful buffet food spread. So all you can eat, all you can drink, $75.
You told me the 2 best words were clothing optional.
All right, we're going to end this right now.
You're supposed to keep that in private.
Yikes.
What the hell happened to the show? I have the.
I told you where,
Alex,
I told you where it went down. The
Alex,
Vietnam.
Alex, I apologize. I'll never come to this podcast again.
I'm surprised you let me back. I'm the one who's fucking taking it off the track.
See, you guys should come down here. That's how much fun we're having. We'll be down here each and every Tuesday. Tomorrow night, I'll be at Newport on Levee, right before Bengals now. Go get Alex's book. Does he throw it up?
I appreciate that.
There you go.
I got that for you too.
All right, awesome. I appreciate it. All right, you guys have a wonderful day. I'll see you tomorrow night. And that's just sports, baby. See ya.
Weekday nights, the city roars. Tonight on, turn up some more. Cincinnati show, it's time to play. Sports with strawberry ice today. 5:30 sharp, don't be late. CTV, the sports awaits. Strawberry ice, he's on the mic, energy, it's pure delight. Every touchdown, every goal. Feel the pulse, it's in your soul. Cincinnati heartbeats strong. Strawberry ice will lead the throng. Every touchdown, every goal. Feel the pulse that's in your soul. Cincinnati heartbeats strong. Strawberry ice will lead the throng. Feel the crowd, it's electric now. Shouting loud, they all know how. The CTV got what we crave. Sports with ice, it's waves and waves. Tigers strike and Bengals roar. Every game we want some more.